Flirtation, showing love in the air contagious. My God, my goodness gracious. On my phone says you wanna be famous. Good Jesus, I'm working no time for cheesing. Down bad, she was whipping that Neeson. That thing make a bitch do treason. No reason, Q's just even. Heathen, put it on me, man. Me, man, you ain't heard it from me, man. She was riding that way, got seasick. Better find yourself, good Jesus. Put my best foot forth, came back packing that force. Chevy, you the best, of course. On the internet, making moves, show the ass some no force. Richer than the middleman, nigga went gold like I'm Trinidad. Veterans getting out up by the 100 grand, getting out of hand, she just getting outrageous. Down bad, she be looking fly, she be looking like woo. Flirtation, showing love in the air contagious. My God, my goodness gracious. On my phone says she wanna be famous. Flirtation, showing love in the air contagious. My God, my goodness gracious. On my phone says she wanna be famous. And you know I'm coming back with the heat that to the beat, pass it to me. I'ma show you how to murk these cities. Can't fall for the trick, fall for the bitch. Calling my phone, guaranteed I'm finna jump on these bitches. Money right here, hang long. Still she can tell that ass stop.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the pregame of episode 149 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood, my brother.
Wait.
What's good, man?
My bad, go ahead.
My brother, what's good?
Chilling,
feeling?
man. How you? I'm good.
I'm feeling fantastic, man.
You see what it is?
I'm excited about the show.
You see the paraphernalia?
Yeah. Ooh. You acting different, boy. New season, new me.
Oh, new hat
quarterback
on the way now.
or
New
two.
hat on the way.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you reminded me. It's a black snapback that I need. I need to go ahead and get to looking for that. And I appreciate you reminding me of where I need to be and what I need to be focused on.
Well, you know, I get a new hat every
none of
season.
this is possible.
I get a new Falcons hat. I get a new Braves hat. I get a new hat every season, bro. Make sure I got everything good.
Dude, I need the throwback. Y'all bear with me. I almost lost my eye to some soap earlier today, and I'm still trying to bounce back to the best of my abilities. But yeah, we got rich people problems. I feel good.
Well, let's get into it, y'all. Y'all know what it is when it comes to Monday Night Raw, man. We do our pregame followed by our HBCU news around the culture, followed by our basketball and football news. We got an action-packed show for y'all today, man. We got the draft, we got playoffs, we got HBCU news, and then also we got some baseball news. So let's get into it. But before we get to baseball, I guess we'll talk about Deion first. Oh, no, we'll do baseball first. That's what I got first.
I mean, it's all, but I mean, I think that technically falls into the baseball category a little bit. It's a diamond turf, but wherever you want to start, man, dealer's choice.
I forgot to open up the final. So yeah, so
we
start
can
out,
talk
man.
How great the Braves are playing, and it's fantastic to have a team that wins games consistently. You know, we are the number one team in baseball, the number one team in the National League East. That is Deion looking like he is posted in a 1996 album cover. Must be the money.
Yeah, so speaking of the Braves, Deion, you know, used to play for the Braves, play for the Falcons, pulled the Brian Jordan move of playing both baseball and football, and Bo Jackson, but he did it and they both did it at the same time. Bo did it when he was hurt. But Deion announces the return of the Air Diamond Turf Max 96s. You've seen Shador wear them on the field. You've seen Travis wear them on the field. They've been select. He has now worked with Nike to release them, which is a very tough photo shoot of the Lamborghini wrapped in the Diamond Turf design, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, he killed that.
With Deion wearing the Diamond Turf.
Say what you want to about this man. His marketing is impeccable. And I know y'all like, well, he didn't do this. No other coach does this type. This is all curated by him. He knows exactly. I don't say exactly. He has a good he has a pretty good understanding of how he wants his stuff to look. And I get that because I, when we do stuff, I try to, I got something up here. I have to get it out of my brain and have it executed by somebody else. This though, first of all, I need 2 pair of these. And hopefully you release these in multiple colors because the black and white is fire, but
didn't he have red and white and blue and white? If I'm not mistaken, I thought he had red,
want these.
Purple.
I want these in a blue. No, in a blue upper, gray lower. That
oh my god, lower? Absolutely not.
No. When I say like that means like the top part is blue and the low part and the bottom part. What's black will be blue and what's white will be gray. That like my gosh,
that's how King Griffey Jr. shoes used to be.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if y'all really want to make some money, man, this is one that y'all should probably make into a Nike ID. Let people run wild with the colors. People are gonna want this shoe. Make it available.
Yeah, it's a tough shoe, man. It's a tough shoe. Deion, when it comes to this marketing, man,
it's a classic.
He is the genius. He is the genius when it comes to the marketing. I saw him on All the Smoke with him and Shador and Deion was talking about the impact of how fly he was in the late 80s, early 90s. And Shador was like, boy, you wasn't. And Deion was like, yo, it's all relative. And Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes was like, nah, you really don't know that Deion was a big deal.
Now, I ain't going to get on here act like I haven't said my fair share of positive and negative things about Deion. But I want to be one thing very clear. In the space of marketing and athletics, he is an icon. He is iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, the only person who you could probably put in the same category as him as far as influence is as Allen Iverson.
Yeah, I think Bo was on his way till he got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, sure. He was, but I don't think that Bo has, like, Bo is a super athlete, great person, all those things, but he doesn't have the hunger for the design. He doesn't have the hunger to put it all together. Like Deion has always been, even with the stuff that he does now with the coverall jumpsuit overall thing. Those are all custom, and he ain't missing on those. Even I was looking at that like, this is a fire little thing you got. All of his stuff, you can tell is specifically curated for him. It's all custom him, and he killing it.
Yeah. He is in a little bit of hot water. I ain't gonna say hot water, but some people that transferred out were saying that he kind of focuses on the market and everything more. But that's why you kind of got to do your research. Deion always has been about the sports marketing. If you want your child to make some money and make it to the league and get notoriety and maximize their time and their NIL money, along with being able, I mean, if you can get a lot of like-minded people like that, they're still good at football, then that's the place to go. He's going to get you paid and he's going to get you looks, and it's up to you to perform. But you got to do your research.
Now, that's why I said it was always tricky for me when it comes to stuff like that, because the issue that you're going to run to is the people who are not getting the camera time. There is and there's no other way to say it, but there's a pecking order over there in Colorado.
There's a hierarchy over there. Shador, Travis, and he makes it everybody else.
Exactly. And now, once again, like you said, you got to do your research. This is the same dude who clearly said that, hey man, I rank my children and how much I like them on what they've done recently and what they've done well. So if he's going to do that with his own kids, which I believe he does facetiously, but also a little bit for real, he's going to do the same thing with his football players. And if you're not in the in crowd, I could understand how that could rub you wrong very quickly.
Cormani McClain, I don't think Deion is good for egos. So like Cormani McClain was a 5-star. He was the number 1 cornerback. He was going to go be like Travis. And he, for whatever reason, it didn't pan out. Now, if you want to read the stories and you see the back and forth, it was Cormani somewhere, not taking it serious. Cormani was like, all they do is talk about clicks and all that other stuff. But all that is you were clearly behind Travis and Shedeur, and you thought you were going to be a bigger deal than you were. To me, now it'll be interesting where you end up, but if you're not built for that, you got to get ready. If you're not bringing in the notoriety, you got to get ready to be benched and be moved. And he's treating it like pro. He's treating you like a pro, to be honest.
You're a free agent.
That's how he's treating you.
But it is it's interesting because they've had one of the most, if not the most, transfers of any D1 school. And they had another guy, I can't remember exactly who it is, who kind of mimicked the same thing that Cormani said.
Xavier
yeah.
Worthy? No, not Worthy. Xavier
Woods.
Yeah.
I think it's Xavier Woods.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been in the same boat. And I think that's what it is. I think that you have to understand that you're picking a guy who's going to show favoritism. Now, where his favoritism lies is interesting. Is it marketability or is it being the best player? And you'll be able to see it pretty soon. But what Deion has done is pretty volatile. But I think I don't want to say it's volatile. I think he does the same thing the rest of these coaches are doing.
But he's not. Deion's gonna get a lot of hate because he's Deion. He's front and center. He's
more vocal about.
Pause if necessary.
He's more vocal.
You know what I mean?
He's more vocal about things, and that's where I think it gets interesting. Most coaches don't tell you, "Hey, I got a hierarchy." They just they release the depth chart, and you know where you are. Mm-hmm. Deion talks about it all the time, and Deion talks about stuff like, "Hey, this is my Louis luggage." So yeah, if this is your Louis luggage,
yeah, but the Louis luggage he just sent one of the Louis back though.
Exactly. It looked like it might have crossed. It might have came from Canal Street. So that is where, I mean, if you say that this is a Louis bag and then we get to the Louis bag, you open up the bag and it don't have the right bags on the inside, your zippers don't look right, it's looking funny in the light, then all right, cool. This a bad bag. Now the rest of your bags might be good, but this one here, not authentic.
Now I will say, I think. Oh, go ahead.
And but I think that this season will have a lot to say about where things are and where that program is.
Yeah. I'm interested to see the first, because we haven't really seen anybody graduate from Colorado under Deion. I think this is his second year.
Second year. First year, 4-7.
I'm interested to see how the guys that stay and get drafted, how they acclimate themselves to the NFL. I do think because of the environment Deion has created, I think that they'll be able to handle the limelight and spotlight of going to the NFL because of it's kind of like USC. You don't really hear about a lot of USC players going to the NFL and be overwhelmed by the moment. Like when Reggie Bush and all of them were there, because they were like, because of the environment they played in. Whereas you might hear somebody from a smaller school get to the limelight, and we'll talk about it later on in the draft, and kind of get overwhelmed with everything that was there. I think he's created a culture to where you will see he's going to build to the point where you're going to say, these guys can go to the NFL, and I'm going to have you ready for everything. So we'll see. But to keep it on that, these are some tough shoes. Did
anybody get drafted from there?
Colorado?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, Xavier Weaver was the only person who was even projected. Let's see if he got drafted.
While we're there. But let's talk about some baseball. Braves. Y'all know we talking about the Bravos. Pow.
Hold on. Signed by the Cardinals, undrafted free agent.
So no,
that's a good pickup though. I actually like him a lot, and to get him undrafted, sure, I'll take that.
Yeah, he's a problem. Atlanta, after the first month of the regular season is over, the Braves sit atop the NL East by 1.5 games, 19-7. Very familiar standings: Atlanta, Philadelphia, the Mets, Washington, and Miami. I think Miami and the Mets kind of flip-flopped last year. But for the most part, over the recent history, it's been these three teams The Phillies started out tough. I will say they seem to be finding their groove. They started out rough, and now they're only 1.5 games back. The Braves are red hot.
right on our heels. You got to continue to win, and that's the frustrating part. Is every year it's a duel at the top between us and the Mets or us and the Phillies. There's never a point where even when you have a really good season, there's still somebody right there. That's the reason I'm kind of excited for this expansion, because the expansion would drop us hopefully in the Southeast, and then we would just run away with it.
So the expansion, if you remember, this is a callback. I think we would be in the division with Miami, Tampa Bay.
Check. One or two of the new teams, like Nashville. If there's Nashville and Charlotte,
I don't think you're gonna get Nashville and Charlotte. You're gonna get like a Las Vegas. Well, Las Vegas has already won. That's Oakland, so that doesn't matter. I don't remember.
I think that both of these teams. I think that both of these teams very well. Or, I mean, I tell you the answer. I don't really like it, but Salt Lake City, they would love a baseball team in Salt Lake City. They're gonna sell out every game.
They're already trying to get hockey, so
they got hockey. The Coyotes is gone, my boy.
Yeah, so you're
but Salt Lake City is a demographic that they got the money and they don't got much else.
But you also got to look at like how the money's going to be spent. So let's say that team is decent. You will have right now all their money goes to the Jazz. There's nowhere to split up the money. But if you were to get a hockey team and you get a hockey team, that's going to take money away from the Jazz because the schedule overlaps. So if I'm the Jazz ownership, I'm like, hell, it's like Texas A&M coming to the SEC. No, we don't want Texas to come here because now they're going to take the money that we've been getting. Like it's the same thing with basketball. And then you add in baseball. I think baseball would flourish more because it's a summer sport, but they're going to overlap. You're going to split some of that money in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, but you know that the demographic in Utah has the spending money to support, and they would. I
don't know what the demographic in Utah is. I mean, I know the demographic. I don't know about the economic demographic of Utah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's either Charlotte and or Nashville or Utah. I don't think that Mexico City is legit. I don't think that Austin, San Antonio right now, you already got two baseball teams here. Like, what are you doing? Mexico and Montreal, I don't think so. And I don't think the Orlando's going to get a team because the Florida teams, unfortunately, just Florida baseball, not really.
Well, I mean, they got World Series now. I think Tampa Bay won the World Series.
They got one World Series, but they can't even get a new stadium. They're the St. Petersburg Rays.
I'm about to say we only got two now. Don't.
Yeah, but we have. No. I'm not talking about the winning on that part. I'm talking about the Braves have a vested fan base. St. Petersburg, that's like it's the equivalent of when they put that hockey team in Georgia and not in Atlanta. St. Petersburg and Tampa are not the same place. They're like 45 minutes away from each other.
I will say the Braves demographic, or the Braves are definitely, I mean, they're like the Yankees, they're like the Dodgers, they're like the Lakers, they're like the Cowboys. Like theirs is not just Georgia. In Braves country, it's pretty much all the way to Texas. So
from Louisiana to North Carolina,
past North to
because in Virginia,
Virginia
goes with the Nationals,
the Montreal Expos. So them.
The disrespect.
But either way, we don't care about them anyway. The Braves are 19-7. We're 1.5 games ahead of the Phillies, even without Spencer Strider. Shout out to Alex Anthopoulos, man. Kalinick has come around. Chris Sale, woo! Now, we did lose. We won the series against Cleveland. I didn't realize Cleveland. We actually have the best record in the league because
Correct.
We beat the Cleveland Guardians in that series of number one teams. Then they're good too.
And hold on. Cleveland Guardians. And I hope, Reggie, you go ahead and chop this. Cleveland Guardians fans. Yeah, I'll be very clear about this. One game in the regular season don't move us. Don't tag me no more. Tag me when your team wins a World Series. If you're not talking about that, you talking to the wrong people.
Oh, I tagged him back though. Pause if necessary. When we posted the win, I definitely went back and edited and tagged him back. Like, no.
I ain't tagging nothing. This is this is a real baseball team here. We came here to play for a championship. We were game 25 don't mean nothing to us, man. We trying to win every game. Don't tag me no regular season pre-all-star. What? And don't tag me. That might have to. We got people. Look at that.
We did play Miami. And when it comes to us playing Miami, before we played Cleveland, we played Miami. And when it comes to us playing Miami, we are fireworks. They always hit Ronald Acuna. We always fight. There's always something crazy that goes on. They actually play us really, really well for them. They actually won a series against us earlier. But in Miami, Sixto Sanchez, that can't be his real name, goes for the imaginary pickoff and balls in the first run of the game. And balks in the first run of the game. So what happened was, for those that are watching, you see him, there was nobody at second. There's nobody at second, and he tries to pick off the player at second. And what does that mean? That is a balk. And we ended up winning this game like 3-2. It was a very, very close game. So he balked in a run.
Yeah. So if y'all remember I think it was a Kid Cudi album, Kids See Ghosts. This is what happened here. He saw a ghost. So, sir, there is nobody on second base for you to pick off. You would never go make it to that first baseman. But that lets me know that Austin Riley had your boots shaking. You didn't know what was going on. You don't know the pitch count. You don't know the down and distance. You don't know what's going on. And that's what I like to see.
You know what it is? You know who had him shaking? Monsieur Acuna. Acuna was on first. Riley bats third. Acuna was on first. Yeah. So he went to try to pick off. He thought Acuna was going to take off because remember, Acuna definitely has the Braves record already. And he's already up to like 15 stolen bases. So I see the ghost was there. You thought Acuna was running, but he was chilling. Hey. And then he stole the base later on.
When you see the dirt bike, it's already too late, big dog.
Yeah, man. What else we got for the Braves? Real quick. Is that it? Let me see.
Let's look at the man who got punched in the face a bunch of times.
Oh, man. So, we add a little bit of violence when it comes to here.
We like violence.
I've never seen this.
Violence.
I've never seen somebody get knocked out and then
when they hit the how floor, I got here.
When they hit the floor, you wake up. Like him hitting the floor brought him back to consciousness because he was out. So you see,
let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Oh man, he got laid out. I think he ended up winning this fight. But
you right. I don't want to fight a man who I just saw die. I just knocked this man out right there. Boom, sleep. Boom, wake up. I'm up. He ain't hit snooze. Scissor ain't nowhere near. He rolled right back up. That wasn't even a one count. And Dave Portnoy, why do you look like an Olive Garden waiter?
That was he looks like he owns his own shop on the beach.
But they did interview him. So just dirty.
They interviewed him in the fighter, and he said, like, yo, what was the worst thing about that? He was like, I don't know. I don't remember it at all. So he was clearly
brain scrambled. Eggs. This is your brain on boxing. I don't even remember getting my socks knocked off. I woke back up. And we was in third period. What you talking about?
That's what Ngannou said when he got knocked out against Anthony Joshua. He was like, man, I didn't even feel that. Every punch he threw, I felt, except for the one that knocked me out. And also, T's and P's to Francis Ngannou. He did just reveal that his 15-month-old son passed away. So he's going through it right now. So
yeah, absolutely.
T's and P's.
Yeah, he actually had a pretty scary. I think it was a tweet that was I mean, to be understood, you lose your 15-month-old son, you probably bother. You're not. There's nothing that can console you at this moment. So once again, thoughts and prayers to him, his family, and all people concerned.
Yep. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the pregame. Y'all take a second, go get y'all a beverage, take some time. We'll be right back with our Monday Night Raw.
If you don't have a beverage, this is the time to drop your beverage and your glass in the freezer. We're going to adult through HBCU, and then we will then spiral into childishness. Y'all get yourselves ready. We'll be right back. Like, follow, subscribe, and go listen to the playlist of Spotify. I tried to hate on. I still released it.
We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
Above the law, like Pastor Troy.
Last name, whatever. ATL checking here, fucking millionaire.
I told you that it's okay, you could make a mess. I know you wanna go with let's take a jet. Though it's love inside my heart, but you can take what's left. I wanna taste your pussy, I wanna taste your flesh. My niggas all flee, you can see by the V's how we coming. But for these songs, I used to profit 120 on you. Crazy how I still feel alone outside 20 deep with my brothers. My home ain't even a home no more, girl, we don't even sleep with each other. And I'm on a road so long, ain't even got time to go trust her. Me and my bro so low, even when we don't speak to each other. And if 10 toes was a person, it would be me and them brothers. And word to Cynthia, I be wishing it was me instead of butter. No one nothing to about my pain, I was deep in the gutter. Sometimes I don't wanna be awake, so I sleep even better. It's the demons and the angels that keep me together. If loving you is killing me, baby, why stay together? But I thought you would be here forever. Already peeped when you said you leaving, your keys was on the dresser. I made your closet $1 million in tees and sweaters. And if I add those Birkins to that, didn't tell Tiffany how much I spent on Tiffany. For you, I would be here forever. In and out of my feelings and foreigns. Double up truck with the 4Gs. Hoodie on too like it's pouring. Glove on like Michael performing. Put you on top, you was horny. I made you climax before me, huh? $10,000 on these pants, won't want just whatever. From all the artists, what she called me is nice, I remember. We had 9s and Mac 11s, it was 9 September. And it get gangsta on this bridge, you can't just slide whenever. You gotta pay the toll where I come from. You gotta pay the price to come in. You know it get rough with the riders.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 149 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood, and we moving on up like the Jeffersons around here. Our powers combined, we are your HBCU homeboys, and it is now time to talk hysterically black colleges and universities and all the things that come with that.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is when it comes to Monday Night Raw. We do HBCU news around the culture. Then we do football or basketball, depending on what season it is. If you're listening to the recording of this that comes out on Thursday, go back and listen to the pregame that we just finished. It comes out on Wednesday, along with the Splashcast soundtrack on Spotify or wherever you get your stream your music overall. Got a few things we're going to talk about today, man. We're going to start out with Tennessee State. Not to be grim, but we do want to pay respects. RIP to the student athlete that sacrificed his life to save his girlfriend in the Nashville hit and run. Chazan, I think it's Chazan. Chazan Page's girlfriend. Chazan Page was with his girlfriend. And she said he pushed her out of the way of a speeding car in order to save her life while sacrificing his. After he was hit, he was rushed to the hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. So T's and P's to Page. He was 20 years old, out of the Lipscomb Academy.
Thoughts and prayers, number one, but this man is a real hero. He saved his girlfriend. If she had been in the same position that he would have been, I assume that she would have probably met the very same fate. So for that man to put his life on the line, thoughts and prayers, but also a ton of respect.
Ton of respect, man.
That's
I also want to send thoughts and prayers to her family, his family, and the whole Tennessee State family. We do have jokes, and we are all rivals when it comes to HBCUs, but in a time of family, we are still family. And I know you.
Yeah, we don't play
hurting.
that then.
Yeah, I know you guys are hurting. So if you have a chance, if you're listening, if you're watching this live, go to Tennessee State. We will keep you guys. This is part of the Splashcast. This is why we do HBCU news around the culture. We will keep you guys in the loop if they decide to do a scholarship fund or a memorial or whatever. We'll make sure we repost it and show you guys the link for all of those things so you could donate. Let's show them how much we care and how much we love them. Moving on. Other news in Tennessee State. Tennessee State is set to relaunch their baseball program after 30 years. After 30 years, the last team was in 1993. The program will return as early as 2025 and no later than 2028. Throughout history, there were 4 baseball players from Tennessee State that got drafted to the Major League Baseball. They are trying to increase that as well. What that tells me about 2025 and no later than 2028 is this is all indicative of how much we support. Go out, donate to the school, donate to the athletic department, donate to the team. They were founded in 1912. Give $19.12 if you can. $1,900.12. $191.20. Whatever you need to do, give back so that this team can bring back baseball and give opportunities to others. As you can see, HBCUs are flourishing.
Like Reggie said, it doesn't matter what you can do as long as you do something. And we seem to be in a point where we're in a renaissance of HBCUs doing their absolute damnedest to find a way to bring back sports that have not always been served by us. Fisk and gymnastics, Tennessee State and baseball, wherever you see these things. And we really mean just send $20. So drink. So drink in every city that's not Houston. And it's street drinks in Houston. But at the end of the day, it's a worthy cause and a hell of an investment, man. And you'll feel better for doing it. Congratulations, Tennessee. They seem to have that. They're another school that, is getting their ish together. Shout out to Eddie George and what he's doing there was.
We were right there. I was like, y'all gotta make sure y'all put some respect on Eddie's name. Because they out there getting land grants. And they fight in Tennessee where they trying to strip board members of their rights.
And even more than that, let's look and see if we can find the Tennessee State athletic director. Because we got to start highlighting those people too. Mm-hmm. Because they're the people who do everything. Like, I support Eddie George, but okay, this is Dr. Mickey Allen, who's director of athletics for Tennessee State. But yeah, he's the person who's picking these people, selecting these people, making sure that they're in the right spot at the right time. And yeah, I know that Eddie George is the big name over there, but Mickey is the guy who's making things go, and you got to give that person just as much credit, if not more.
Yeah. And you're starting to see the fruits of the labor in the coaching department, which we'll get there. People are starting to put some respect on these HBCU coaches' names and giving them the opportunity. Do the same for the athletic directors. They can run big schools as well. And now you'll be able to, hopefully they reach back and create the pipeline. Because now this is like, at this point, we are in the NIL era. This is tiered sports.
It's one of those things where money is even more important, if that can be possible. And there's just has to be a strategic game plan to this, because everybody is playing chess and there are no games of checkers available anymore.
Nope. Not anymore.
You're not playing with somebody. If you are HBCU and you don't have a direct phone line to somebody on your state's Power 5 roster as far as their coaching directory,
yeah, you're losing already.
You already behind the ball.
Losing already. Speaking of which, when we talk about the pipeline, Deion Sanders' daughter Shalomi followed him to Jackson State. She did well as a freshman. She didn't play much, but she definitely played. When she did play, she did well. And then also, she then followed her father to Colorado. Well, she's leaving Colorado because she didn't play much, and she's going back to Alabama A&M in the SWAC. If you remember, Alabama A&M just signed UAPB's former coach. So shout out to Shalomi, and she's already reposted. She's coming to the Hill down there in the Gump. Montgomery, right? Are they in Montgomery?
Yep, that's right.
Yep. So,
Correct.
Shout out to Shalomi, man, blazing her own path. I'm sure if Shiloh was younger in terms of had the eligibility that Shalomi has, I wouldn't be surprised if he would have transferred back to Jackson State because he didn't want to leave.
That leads us right into the conversation I really wanted to have about the whole Sanders family business. I'm not really sure if they wanted to leave Jackson. I think that Deion wanted to leave Jackson, and Shedeur was probably like, okay, this is probably better for my career. But as a family, I don't think they want to leave Jackson.
No,
And her running right back to another HBCU. And I'll be honest, he didn't have the greatest things to say about her getting into the portal. He wasn't thrilled about it. I think
he was upset.
I think he called it stupid.
Mhm.
But I'm happy that she's blazing her own trail. And this is the thing that I want people to understand, because we get into these conversations, and sometimes I talk to people who are not the biggest proponents of HBCUs. This is a person whose dad is the head coach at a school which their applications increased by 600%. He is the king of the castle in Boulder. And she was like, I don't really want to go here. I think that at the end of the day, once again, this is about being around your people. And your people were never going to be in Boulder. And I think that there's a part of that gives, even if you're the king of the castle, even if you're the daughter of the king of the castle, this might be a little bit cooler for me. This might work for me a little bit better. And I'm sure she probably doesn't have nearly as many eyes on her here, so she can live more of a normal life than in Boulder, where you're going to have to be a part of the pomp and circumstance.
So you said a lot there. I do agree with you that they didn't want to leave. Shiloh definitely didn't want to leave. Remember, he was asking, should I stay or should I go, legit, on Instagram and on social media. Shedeur was going to go. Shedeur had no reason not to go. His father has pretty much laid out the plan for him, and it has worked in every way, shape, and form. I don't think he wanted to leave, but he knew that going to Colorado,
it was the right career
the right
decision for him.
He got drafted off the USC game alone. So
yeah. But
Shalomi, you made another point. I don't want the spotlight on me. She didn't grow up in the spotlight. It was Shiloh and Shedeur, the oldest daughter actually, and the oldest son. The oldest daughter actually got out of there. She's actually like all about Deion. Like, she criticized Jackson, Mississippi, criticized the school. You talk about my dad. It is what it is.
That's the one that's married. With Jacquees, right? That's his old lady, right? Oh, she's like our age.
I did not know that, but yes, she's the oldest.
Oh, you didn't? Hold on, time out. You didn't see the whole thing where Deion was like, I guess they were standing next to each other, and Deion was like, "Hey, tell him to stand up." And Jacquees is vertically challenged, so the shot. Damn, Deion.
That's a shot because his son is vertically challenged too, the oldest one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all ain't y'all ain't really the tallest family in the world now. Like, everybody around there.
6'3", 6'2".
Is Shedeur that tall?
Nah, he's 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
Because Deion is 6 feet.
Yeah, like Deion, even you're not a tall person.
Yeah, so shout out to Shalomi though. So, that's the point. She didn't grow up on the court. On the TV. So going back and just being a student, I could get not, just, and also playing time. Don't act like this ain't about playing time either. Colorado was the number 5 team in the nation, and they got they got a lot of people coming back. So it's also about playing time and being able to make an impact.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I'm happy she found a place where she can be comfortable and flourish again. That's what really matters. And you know what me and Reggie always say? You tired of them other people, come be with your people.
Come be with your people. Come back to the blacks. Back to the blacks.
I love when Reg talks about the blacks now. That's one of my favorite parts of the pod. We going for the blacks.
Go ahead for the blacks, unapologetically. Speaking of the blacks, man. Coach Tamika Reed has accepted the Charlotte's women's basketball head coaching position. They, in what is, I want to say, maybe unprecedented for an HBCU coach, much less a female HBCU coach or a women's HBCU coach. She was recruited. Women. She was recruited by UNC Charlotte to leave Jackson State after she has won 3 championships in a row, SWAC championships in a row, made the tournament 3 years in a row, was praised by everybody, including UConn, Gino Auriemma, all the way to Dawn Staley and everybody in between. She finally got her flowers, and she gets her opportunity to move up and add to her resume of Charlotte women's basketball coach, UNC Charlotte. So shout out to Tamika.
Number one, I'm super happy for her. She deserves all of this. She has been the coach to get the spotlight for the longest, and it's only because she's done what's been asked of her and more. With that said, also think you gotta look at, man, Charlotte, as it is known now, it used to be, I think, UNC Greensboro. This school is putting together, yes, that's what it was originally, UNC Greensboro.
UNC, it's a system. They got Greensboro. UNC Greensboro is now. Yeah, UNC Greensboro, yes, UNC Charlotte, UNC Asheville. That's why, because remember, they were trying to absorb North Carolina A&T. Greensboro was trying to absorb North Carolina A&T, and the blacks was like, no.
What it used to be something else.
Charlotte. Used to be Charlotte. University of Charlotte.
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
But what I was trying to say is, University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Yeah. It's now just Charlotte. Yeah. So what I was, long story, a lot less long. They have Tamika here, and then they also have Biff Poggi. They have gone out and found 2 really good coaches, 2 coaches that have, there are other schools that are more accomplished, probably should have looked at. And I mean, if that's what you're going to do, they're about to, to me, they're on the precipice of really elevating to that next level. If they continue their winning ways and can get some money, then they could make a shake here.
So the thing about this, about UNC Charlotte, I'm sorry, not UNC Charlotte. Well, they still call it UNC Charlotte in North Carolina. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to call it. I know that sound wrong. Then Cash, I'm going to call them Cash. But what I mean is, we talked about the transfer portal when it opened. If y'all remember, this is a callback. The team that we said won the portal from a smaller school standpoint was Texas State and the University of Charlotte. They hired that coach, Biff Poggi, like you said, and they brought in a lot of talent, a lot of like former starters. Whatever they got with that NIL deal is working. And then they went out and made a bigger splash with Tamika Reed. So whoever is backing Charlotte, University of Charlotte, whoever, first of all, that's what I want you to do. Could you look up the athletic director? Because we are going to look up the athletic directors for HBCUs, but whoever the athletic director is for Charlotte is making change on their own. I expect Charlotte to be one of the better non-Power 5 schools in the future. And I wouldn't be surprised if they made the playoffs in 2 years, because it's 12 whatever team, not 12 teams.
Mike Hill is the guy that you're talking about, and he's gone out and I mean, I'm a Florida fan. They have a better women's basketball coach and a better men's football coach than we got. We're an established team with multiple championships. You're just getting out hustled. You're getting outworked. And congratulations to them, and my team sucks. How about that?
What I do like about this post about Tamika Reed, and I'll close out after this, is they posted a lot of the tweets, and they got HBCU Go on there, HBCU Sports, Lights on College Sports, shout out. They have all of these HBCU-based tweets that they've used, which, even if it was a mistake, is very, very aware. You're very aware of your surroundings in terms digitally. So shout out to Charlotte, man. Y'all are.
I'm not chalking that up to a mistake because they went and recruited this lady. They knew exactly who they were getting and where they were getting her from. And if they're gonna do that, they know what they're doing. Yeah, congratulations to making good decisions. And me and Reggie will beat this into your head every podcast. While you here, go ahead, like, follow, subscribe, listen to that fire-ass playlist I'm gonna put out on Wednesday. But this can be the start of a long career for you, even if it's something where I tell people all the time, you might be here for a reason, you might be here for a season. They came on in, she's done what she was supposed to and been presented with another opportunity. I think that these larger schools need to be reaching out to HBCUs because the coaches, I hate to say it, they're more resourceful. Mm-hmm. You got to figure out how to make it happen. And if you consistently reach out to people who are historically good at making it happen, you're probably going to be successful.
Yep. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the HBCU news around the culture. I think this is our first beer break, correct?
Correct.
First beer break. We're going to listen to
I ain't coming back with no beer though. You know, my boy B, the Bartesian, be holding me down. He finna make you about to, whip it up.
Oh yeah, that's right. No,
yeah.
We're gonna take about how long is this song? About 3 minutes. And then we'll come back with our basketball segment where we got some WNBA and NCAA women's news. And then of course, the playoffs. Whole lot of gang stuff going on, bro.
Playoffs?
Yeah, I mean
playoffs.
We ain't there, but y'all know what we mean. Y'all stay tuned.
Never would have made it.
We'll be right back.
We lost them all.
Y'all stay tuned.
I remember the days, making minimum wage. I was trying to maintain. Look how far they came. Pop champagne for the pain. I'm campaigning for change. All the progress we made. Nigga things on the way. With my 69.5 bird from the curb. I done had to work it like a square and had to serve. I'm listening to Big and Dre and crumbling on herb. I'm pushing down MLK with a quarter pound of herb. Passing through the tip, I say a prayer for fallen soldiers. Rest in peace to Bruce and may God be with DGola. It hurt like hell to say, but rest in peace to Rico Wade. He soundtracked the day when me and Sleep was serving Jay. We done made it up from shouters, drinking flawless, living lawless. Today shift in the flame, diamond flawless, and I fought it. Thank the Lord I ain't a junkie, ain't an alcoholic. The pride of Atlanta, Michael Render studied ballin'.
Let's bring out the champagne, roll up an airplane. Life is a rare thing, life is a rare thing. We rise, we fall, even went back so wall. I found a way I can maintain. Yeah, treat MLK like my memory lane. Ain't no feeling the same, hope you're feeling my pain. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in the game. Ain't no feeling the same, hope you're feeling my pain.
All my brother look in the air, I see an angel that fly. 15 years, brother gone, every day mama cry. I was struggling, start hustling, start cutting no pies. Streets start hugging me, not loving me, but it went on my mind. But it went on my mind. Doing crime, chasing the dime, so I don't be behind. I had did this for my gain, I don't see nothing go blind. Grandma died, I wish I could go back and get time. Hey. And I can't live with no regrets. VV's on my neck and I will kill for my respect. I done ran it up and now I'm finally out of debt. Count me out, now count me in, cause they know I'm the
Let's
best.
bring out the champagne, roll up an airplane. Life is a rare thing, life is a rare thing. We rise, we fall, even went back so wall. I found a way I can maintain. Yeah, treat MLK like my memory lane. Ain't no feeling the same, hope you're feeling my pain. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in the game. Ain't no feeling the same. Hope you're feeling my pain.
Hopping over hurdles into my Chevy converter. Swerve around them haters that don't wish to see me further. My campaign for champagne could have ended with my murder. Miss Betty say if you ain't saved in Jesus.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment of episode 149 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe, man. We got a few things we're going to talk about today in basketball. Before we get to the playoffs, because I know that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the playoffs. let's talk about some NCAA women's basketball. The draft just passed. We talked about it last week. But there's moves being made. Again, we're in the NIL. And breaking. Oregon State's Talia Von Oelhoffen has committed to USC. She is transferring from Oregon State. USC has now 2 transfers. I think both of them were all Pac, whatever that's supposed to be now. Big Ten, I guess is what it is. But at the time, it was all Pac-12 basketball. So shout out. And they're playing with Juju, the female Carmelo. She out there. So USC looks like they're going to be a beast. And I'm sure tell me how you feel, because I have an interesting take on this.
I'm excited, but I also recognize the writing on the wall here. Everybody's super copping up. Dawn has set the precedent. I'll even throw Kim Mulkey has, hey, if you're not trying to play with the best players in the league, you probably don't stand a chance. If you're not getting together strategically, coming up with a plan to compete, you'll get Caitlin Clark. And that's a shout out to her. And at the same time, it's just one ain't enough. And
you're going to the era of super teams right now.
And you gotta be able to put something together that you got to come prepared, and you can't think that you're gonna do it by yourself. You better find a group of people in Tampa or whatever y'all want to call it, collude. Hey, girl, we going here. I think you should come with us, and that's what it is. I support it.
So
because don't go running up on y'all.
So my take is similar. I think USC had to do this. Unfortunately, Oregon State and I think she came from UCLA. They are not going to compete for a national championship. And also, USC had to keep Juju because, yes, she's from Cali. Yes, she loves USC. Yes, she's Miss Cali. But that other USC, even though they're in the country, produces number 1 draft picks.
It's not. Columbia, South Carolina is not the country. It's the South.
Either way, in the South. It ain't like you got to go. Shit, that is the country. You go 7 miles outside of downtown and you on a 30-acre farm.
You do the same thing in Houston if you go 7 miles outside of the city.
No, you can't. Not from the middle of downtown.
Wait. You those 2 different things you said there. From
both of them apply to South Carolina, middle or outskirts. 7 miles, you will be on a 30-acre farm. I know my family owned one.
I agree with that, but if you at the edge of Houston and you go 7 more miles, you in Texas.
That's a fall off.
You don't see nothing. You don't see nothing that will remind you of Houston. You have now made it to Texas.
You now made it to the rest of the South.
Yeah.
But that was my point. That other team at USC, South Carolina, Dawn is always looking to add. So is Kim Mulkey. So is Gino. I'm sure Iowa's.
And Coach Ivy at Notre Dame. Don't sleep on her either.
And I'm sure Iowa's NIL money has jumped. They had.
For sure.
So you can imagine that there's competition. The age of recruiting is different now. It's not just recruiting to get players to come to you. It's recruiting to keep your players. So you have to recruit and build a team around your star player, or they will leave. I.e., Kentucky and Gina and
absolutely,
what's his name?
Absolutely.
So shout out to USC, man. They'll be fun. They should be fun. And this is why you keep those players, though. You keep those players because those players generate sales. The Dallas Wings and Atlanta Dreams sell out season tickets. And this is 100% attributed to the NCAA women's growth of the basketball game over the last 2 years, specifically Dawn, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and all of them putting them on the map.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and it feels good to be one of the teams that really has sold out. This ain't the Atlanta's saturated. Braves, Hawks, Falcons. Let's be real. UGA is an
I'm about
hour
to say
away.
Bulldogs right there.
I
Yeah, we
mean,
got
you got
lacrosse,
Georgia Tech. There
State.
and then there's just so. Oh, and
Kennesaw State.
the
Ooh,
United.
shit.
There's
United.
so many different things that you can do, and when there are so many WNBA teams that just don't have that following, shout out to for the home team holding it down. Congratulations and kudos.
Yep, and there's another callback. Remember, Indiana sold out all their tickets and had to move to another arena. Indiana, Las Vegas, and Washington before the draft because they knew Caitlin Clark was going to be there. So if you knew Caitlin Clark was going to be there before the draft, after the draft, you knew every place else was going to sell out. And Ryan Howard is a monster. She is a monster out there. So shout out to them, man. Lastly, in WNBA news, NCAA women's basketball news, Candace Parker calls it a career. She announced she is retiring. She announced via social media she's retiring effective immediately. This is not a farewell tour. She is not going for one more year. I believe this is it. She is full-time broadcasting, and I'm proud of her, man. Not only is she on NBA TNT, she is now retiring with the ability to go right into women's basketball commentating. She's done play-by-play, and she's done before pregame. So shout out to Candace Parker on a great career.
Riding your own ticket for sure. And deserve it. Job well done. Career well done. Basketball icon. I'm not even going to say WNBA icon. Basketball icon. And been iconic at every level. Been successful at every level. Being just an overall killer. One of the greatest to ever do it. Job well done. And without you, who knows where basketball or the league will be.
Yeah, man. I would say she's probably had just as much or a bigger impact as Cheryl Miller. I think Cheryl Miller is like on the only difference is Cheryl Miller, because she came so early, she's on like mythical status. Like Cheryl Miller is mythical. When you hear other players like Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie talk about Cheryl Miller, it's like, hey, I'm the first number one pick. I'm the first woman to dunk in the WM. But Cheryl Miller, woo! And when people Candace,
she put the sneakers on y'all feet. Know that.
Yeah. So when Candace of course, revisionist history, as Candace, it gets past that and you start to examine her career, specifically the championship she won with Chicago after Pat Summitt died, where she went absolutely ate crap in the playoffs and basically just went off. Won MVP, won Finals MVP, League MVP. She was first team All WNBA. She was motivated. I think once you get older and you start to really look at her impact, I don't know if there's been one in the 20th century or 21st century as much as Candace Parker on the WNBA game. Maybe Maya Moore, but Maya Moore left. Not saying that's a bad thing. She had another calling. She followed a calling. So she may be the most impactful WNBA player of the last 20 years.
I feel pretty confident in saying that. I mean, yeah, it's her, Maya Moore, and Asia. Those are the icons right now. I guess you could throw like Sue Bird in there too, but there.
Sue Bird, yeah, Rebecca Lobo, that's another one. But like I said, she was actually kind of in the 90s though. Lobo was another one of those in between bridge players. So we are now done with the WNBA. Let's get to it, bruh. Let's get to it. Let's get to the series in the NBA playoffs. We're going to get to the series that matter first. We're going to get to the series that are going to go past tonight. Let's start out with Clippers Mavs. This is probably the most entertaining series. Wait, did I say Clippers Mavs? Yeah, Clippers Mavs. This is probably the most entertaining series. The Mavs.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give y'all a little heads up on what me and Reggie gonna do here. There are only two series that have any kind of excitement left. Everybody else is a whooped ass, either now or here soon and very soon. So we're gonna start out with the series that are still competitive, and then we'll just talk about these people who are making plans for Cancun or wherever they may be going. Somebody got sent to Galveston, but we'll talk about that later.
they on
Let's
their
start
way.
right here.
I'm watching the game on weird. You see my eyes every time we talk. I'm like,
oh no, they ain't going to Cancun neither. They going to Key West, Miami, right down there. Get your
right
key
down
lime
to the
pie.
keys.
Get you a Margaritaville shirt, Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville shirt, and that's it. Because y'all quit too.
Y'all
But
sitting
first,
in
let's talk
Pensacola.
about. Yeah, let's play. Let's
So
talk
we
about
got-
these Clippers.
We got
And
this.
these
This is
Mavericks.
probably the series to watch. The Clippers, the old team. I hate to say it, they're old. Versus the Mavs, who have a lot of young and in their prime players. And this is like the high school kid that's now a 5-star recruit trying to beat his uncle that is like a year or two away from not playing no more. Like the Clippers and the Mavs are 2-2. Luka and Kyrie just decided, I just play basketball. I'm better than, I can do everything from the point guard position in terms of scoring better than anybody in the league. And I don't know if I can argue that point because he has been cooking.
And he is assistant point guard. He's not like, it's not like he's SGA or Trey or any of these other those people where it's like, all right, well, this is my show. I drive this bus. Nobody else can touch these keys. I'm in the front seat. He is co-point guard. And I mean, if you really want to break it down, he's 1B.
Yeah, now. Luka said he feels like he's letting him down. I would say Kyrie is the answer
Just
to
don't
you
be
got to
J.
have a
Cole
tall
and let
number
Nas
2.
down.
You got to add that to the list. He is what most of the time people say you can't play 2-point guards because the second point guard is going to be too small and he's not going to be able to score against a wing that guards him. I watched this game. They guarded him with everybody. He made a layup over Paul George, James Harden. Who's the third person?
It was 4 people. It was 4. It looked like
Kawhi.
that time.
I think it was Kawhi. No, it was Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann.
It looked like that time that the Nets tried to guard the whole team. Their whole team tried to guard Shaq, except for instead of the person being Shaquille O'Neal and being a larger than life human,
it's a 5'11" point guard.
it's a very regular sized human in Kyrie Irving, which makes it just look worse. Because at least Shaq, it's like, all right, well, he's a behemoth of a human. What do you really do? Okay, you just jump him. Well, Kyrie is a small, bearded, unassuming man.
And Bam just got
And he
a
just-
one.
And he just torching.
Bro, he had
Torching
40
them.
points. 40 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Luka had on 25 shots. 50% from 3, 6 of 12. And honestly, he would have won the game if it wasn't for this man on the screen. That man right there. James Harden, 33-7-6. 33-7-6. Only 2 turnovers. Paul George, 33, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. 4 turnovers. But when I tell you, James Harden scored like 10 straight points or assisted on almost all of their points in the fourth quarter. He scored or assisted. And it was him versus Kyrie. And I was so excited because I was like, ooh, they getting it out on the court from Brooklyn. I was like, they don't, because they were, Kyrie hit a 3, James hit a 3. Kyrie went to the basket, hit a crazy layup. James, he goes to the basket, hits a crazy layup. Kyrie gets an assist. Paul George, he gets the assist to Paul George. I was like, oh, they going back and forth. They don't like each other for real. I was invested. Me and Kyrie's.
And number one, shout out to Baby Reeves, aka the production assistant, the production producer. But there's somebody who should be really upset about all of this.
Joel.
And they're not involved. Nope, not him. He get all. Well, I'll wait because I have certain opinions on that. But somewhere the Brooklyn Nets got to be choking themselves out. You got to be so furious at everything because let's be real. Suns, you know, the Wolves bust out the brooms on them. They swept them, but KD wasn't no slouch. Now you see Kyrie and Luka over there. I mean, yeah, KD was in a big three with just not enough. Then you see Kyrie in a big two, and they cooking. And then you see James in a big three or a little four, whatever you want to call it, and he's cooking. And you're like, we had these three players on our team less than one season ago. How did things go so bad for us so quickly? And then how did they get to somewhere else, play in almost the same scenario, and everybody looked like a world beater?
Because I know that's rhetorical, but I got an answer for that. It's because we talked about it. The Mavericks signed one of the best free agent role-playing classes in the last 10 years. PJ Washington, although you got your team beat in the second game, you were standing on business. I know we said we were going to retire it, but it was in the moment. You were there, and you frustrated Russell Westbrook to the point where, and Luka did too, but to the point where they became discombobulated and became unhinged, and you won game 3. Daniel Gafford, I saw block Paul George on a dunk at the rim, at the summit. They've added so many good role players, or the good role players that they've added, that Maxi Kleber, is that his name? Kleber?
Gladback.
Yeah. They actually have him in his correct role. Stand in the corner, shoot the 3, go out there and be tall for 11 minutes a game. And he's flourishing because you're not asking too much from him. The Mavericks in these role players,
very low expectation.
expectation. And these role players have balled out. And now the Clippers, even though it's 2-2, are in this situation of the Clippers are 2-0 without Kawhi. And Kawhi obviously doesn't look like himself. And Paul George is looking as a good number 2 again. What do you do with Kawhi for the rest of the series?
You don't get to make that decision. Kawhi's knee is the only person who makes that decision. And this makes me rethink the 65-game All-Stars, because that's a lot of influence on this. I don't think that I'm gonna tell y'all this every time. I don't like the blatant obvious story. That's the reason I love to look back at the Brooklyn Nets and be like, damn, y'all had these 3 players. They look like they couldn't get it together. Then they all go to their own respective new cities, and for varying degrees, get it together. So it's kind of the same thing.
It was also Kyrie. I mean, let's not.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And that's the reason I blame Kevin Durant. This was your fault. You did this. Very similar here with those 65 games that were required to play for you to be eligible for those awards. I think it made people play more games than they really wanted to play. And now you have people who have either aches and pains, injuries, or not available. I think that Kawhi would have played a lot less games if that 65 number wasn't there. I don't think that AD plays as many games if that 65 number wasn't there. And I think that that's influenced the health of a bunch of players. And to a certain degree, you got to kind of pick your poison, which is always my thing. And the reason that I look at the bubble chip so tricky is if you don't have that extension at that point in the season where everybody can go lay down in their hyperbaric chambers for 2 months, I don't think they win that chip. And I think that playing straight through and having to play 65 games, I don't think I was a fan or an advocate for earlier. The playoffs have made me be more of an advocate for it, because it does make you. Now I want to see the players that can play 65 games and then come on in and get these playoffs.
Well, also from an economic standpoint, it allows other players the opportunity to be on a first team, because there are a lot of players that made first team, second team, and third team, respectively, made an all NBA team they weren't going to make first team with these guys because they're so good and their brands are so past what they put. If Kawhi made all NBA and played 50 games, I think Joel Embiid won the MVP and he didn't play 65. So I get it from the standpoint of it allows more parity and it also allows for more players to play. But it does add to you now have to attribute attrition, and you can't go out there and bull jive coach. Listen, if anything tells me about what's happening in this series, what's happening in the other series, is Adam Silver has ended super teams. There is no more. What's AJ? There is no. AJ said everybody had the same time off in the bubble though. Yeah, but what I'm saying is there are no more super teams. Any big three, pause if necessary, they're either out or down 3-1 or whatever they're about to be. It's over with.
Oh yeah, and he's the guy he's like playing against the computer, but finding out that you have cheat codes in the computer, Chat GPT, I'm like, oh, you got cheat codes. I'll fix that. And before it was to a point where basketball was kind of becoming baseball, where as long as you could afford it, you could pay for whatever it is. Golden State. And I don't hate that. You playing with the rules that were provided. But in order to create more balance in the league, well, you can't just accumulate all of these stars and pay everybody and just buy basketball like the New York Yankees. Fuck those guys. You really got to put together a team strategically. Bench players are way more valuable than they've ever been. Good bench players. That's the one thing that saddens me about the Pelicans is they got all the guys that you want on the bench. They got the Trey Murphy. They got the Herb Jones. They got the Grand Theft Alvarado. They got a little bit of whatever you need and still, maintain their stars. But with this second April, it's going to be very interesting to see what Phoenix does going into the season. And Golden State. Where y'all at? And let's be real, the Hawks. Because the money funny right now for us too.
Yep. And so, I'm looking forward to this game tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Clippers, Dallas in LA. I think Kawhi is back. I don't think he played a lot last game. I think they held him out. So
he was out.
Yeah, so
that's the tricky thing though, is they 2-0 without him, 0-2 with him. I think they also play a little bit more inspired when Kawhi's not there. But you need to be able. Kawhi, it's also your turn to win them a game. Justin say each one of your stars need to win you one, and then then the rest of your team needs to win you two. Well, the team has won one. The stars have won one. Kawhi, it's your time. And get to figuring, bro.
Yeah, because this is it. They're going to blow that. If the Clippers lose, they're going to blow. Paul George is out of there. They can't. Adam Silver used business to force you to learn how to coach and manage a roster. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for sure. The next game, that's actually pretty. Listen, this series started out. I was like, man, the Magic look like they are overwhelmed.
This started out as the NBA TV series, and now is the only one that is. And stop putting them damn games on NBA TV, bro. Nobody has NBA TV. You already asked us to pay for League Pass. And then we got cable bill to pay, Hulu to pay, Netflix to play, Disney Plus so we can watch X-Men 97, Paramount Plus so I can watch Gator games. Man, bruh, you might as well put me back on cable. But what you need to stop doing is putting these games on NBA TV. Also, I have seen somewhere, this is just a little tidbit of information before we move on. This NBA is finna go to Amazon. And I got Amazon Prime, so give me straight, Bezos.
NBA and NFL. NFL is about to redo their deal.
Oh, MLB. You know that the Braves finna leave Valley. You can't even watch the Braves game on.
Yeah, NBA, but I'm disagreeing with your NBA point about stop putting on NBA TV because that's what NFL Network did. They forced you to get NFL Network. They forced you.
I don't even know how you get that. You just got to call your cable provider and give me this
and hope
for like 15 stupid games, but it's always like a game I would want to watch.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's what they're gonna do. But this series, Magic won Game 4, 112-89. Hey, the man on the poster, the Wagners, Mo Wagner. I did not think he was going to be. I thought he was a waste. I'm not gonna say waste of a pick, but he was one. He was in.
Franz is a good Wagner.
Yes, but Mo, I know who's who. But Mo Wagner, I thought was just like, I thought he was Thanasis. I thought they wanted Franz and they signed Mo, and I knew Mo was decent, but I didn't think he was good. Bro, Mo Wagner was dunking on everybody. He only had 7 points and 4 rebounds and 1 steal, but he was a plus 20 on the floor. His defense, for the first time, I saw Mo at the 5. I saw Wendell Carter at the 4. I know, it was Wendell Carter. I saw Jonathan Isaac at the 3, Franz at the 2, and they put Paolo out there. And they were they just ran up the court. And when they did that for 5 minutes, they were like a plus 18. But then they ended up needing a point guard. But when they rolled that Cleveland, they ain't know what to do.
And I'm going to tell you, if I'm the Orlando Magic, what can I do to get DeJounte Murray without giving you everything that matters? Because DeJounte on that team makes him a band of savages. Now, if I'm Atlanta, I would never trade.
Not in my division.
Interdivision.
You got to get a third team. Yeah, you got to get a third, fourth team on that one. We got to 2K this trade machine up.
And I'm going to tell you, DeJounte, as much as I love him on our team, that's not a man I want to play against, especially if we deal with him.
And he's angry. We've seen when he's angry. He scored 60 points.
And then poke a ref in the head. You bitch. I love DeJounte. I wish we could make him. I wish we could sign him a 20-year deal. I just need the crazy. I want at least one person will go out there and might bite you on the face. We need that. You need that so that people don't try you, as a team. But yeah, that if the Magic can get one guard, like that's another team that, hey man, I call Bradley Beal. What can I do to get Bradley Beal off your hands?
Can I get Donovan Mitchell? He's out of there. They have money.
No, Donovan Mitchell is not leaving Cleveland to go to Orlando. Wait, think about that. So you started out in Utah, right? Then after you left Utah, you gonna move me to Cleveland and think you finna drop me off with Mickey Mouse? Hey, go to hell. No, I will not go to Orlando. No offense. Beautiful city, fantastic. Some people say it's the greatest place on earth. I'm not spending my career in Utah, Cleveland, and Orlando. Not be this good.
But when it comes to basketball, the Cavs have the second worst offense in the 2023 playoffs. They had the second worst offense in 2023 and the worst offense in 2024. This team,
we knew this.
When you rely on Gorgeous Yang to be like your spark plug off the bench, it's over with. And I'm not saying they're going to lose this series because I respect Donovan Mitchell too much. But, dog, Max Strus, 7 points, minus 19. Evan Mobley got jumped by the Magic. I saw they scored 10 points in the third quarter and 19 points in the fourth quarter. They scored 29 points in the second half. I'm going to say that again. The Magic held the Cavs to 10 points in the third quarter, 19 points in the fourth quarter, and they played their starters, and they scored 29 points in the second half total.
Now, I'm going to tell you all this, and I don't care who hears or what they got to say. People talk so bad about me supporting John Collins. Evan Mobley is just a different John Collins.
It's looking like it. It's looking like it, bro.
And I love Evan Mobley, but honestly, Evan Mobley was drafted way too high to be John Collins. John Collins was drafted low and turned into John Collins. But we're Evan Mobley. I do think he's a generational talent on defense. He can't shoot. He don't have no perimeter jump shot. The three-pointer is okay at best. And due to the fact that you traded for Donovan Mitchell, and we always tell you don't make a deal with Danny Ainge, even though the stupid ass Hawks did it. Once you make that trade, you're out. And when you have to go and you start looking at, all right, well, I'm going to start Max Strus. Okay, I'm going to start Isaac Okoro. Okay, now I got Mobley and I have Jared Allen, who neither one of them can shoot. And then I got Darius Garland, who's kind of a good-ish combo guard, but turns the ball over and plays erratically. He's good morale Trey.
Remember
Yeah.
we used to talk about if Darius Garland and Trey was better?
You're right.
They're the same player. They're too small. They can't play great defense. They can shoot. They can pass. But when it comes, he's too small. He was a -27. And
But I think that Mitchell's out the door.
Mitchell Robinson or Donovan Mitchell? Donovan
Mitchell.
Robinson. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's probably going to
No,
New York.
Mitchell Robinson is in the door. Let me stay here forever. I want to be with Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
For sure.
but there's rumors, and we'll get to it. Put a pin in that because there's rumors. So I'm gonna leave this up because I'm
The
gonna.
rumors ain't for Mitchell though. It's got to be Julius. Oh,
Sure. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back. I promise because I'm gonna. You don't like it when I do that, but I'm gonna hit you with a rumor that I don't. Obviously, you haven't heard it yet.
No.
But do you
as
think
far
the
as that
Magic
goes,
can get it done? Do you think the Magic? I'm sorry, I didn't skip that. Do you think the Magic can win this series?
Absolutely. There, Cleveland drew, and you know what, Cleveland, you deserve this because this is what you asked for. You tank for this, and if you tank for this and good put out, because y'all are a long rangey team. You picked the long rangey, with Mobley and Jared Allen.
That's it. Everybody else short arm. Garland, Mitchell, Okoro, Karis
you're right.
LeVert.
But you picked the team that matches up with you well. Your front court, their front court is equal to or greater than.
Yeah, this was the worst matchup for y'all. Because and let me tell y'all something. However that you feel about him, about the culture, Preacher Man is getting more and more comfortable with that knee. I saw him hit a 3, get a block, run the break, pass it, dunk, get the rebound, steal the ball, hit a corner 3, all in the third quarter in 4 straight possessions.
My thing is I'm slapping next with him, bro. Hey, man, don't shoot that 3 again. Dunk the ball. I have to cut you. He's a guy who, like, I see him picking up the Jaren Jackson Jr. tendencies. Get your ass out of run fast and jump and see how close you can get to the rim. Tell me if you can. You should be able to jump from almost the free throw line and get pretty damn close. I don't want to if you're taking too many threes, but he is also a cheat code because he's so tall. He's so long, and he does have good defense. Now
he guarded everybody. He guarded Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert.
Now I'm gonna tell you, this might sound crazy. I might, now that you say it, I might try to trade Mitchell to Orlando, but I want one of those. I don't want your guards back.
Two. You got to give me 2. For Donovan Mitchell, you got to give me 2. If it's what's his name for the Hawks, you could probably get away with picks in 1.
No, I saw what I saw for the Hawks was Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, and a draft pick. But I will tell you, Cleveland, like, I don't know if Isaac can shoot the corner 3 that well, but that pause. Those 3 guys, I was not gonna say what I was coming to my brain at first. But those 3 guys, if you could have Isaac, Mobley, and Jared Allen,
the paint is locked down.
Yeah. No. The paint is locked down with those 2 guys, and you just got Isaac. Just what you want on the perimeter, bro? Pick your best guy. I'm gonna stress him out. Cause think about if you put Jonathan Isaac on Trey. Trey is good, but
lost that game.
There's nothing you can do. Like, whoever the guard is, whoever your scoring machine is, Isaac. And then everything is rim protection. Front, you got with Allen. And then you got backside just roaming as the rover, Mobley. You're fixed. Hey, man, you might score 80 points with that.
That's crazy. But I think the Magic get Cleveland out of there. I think Donovan Mitchell sees the writing on the wall with this team. I think this team sees the writing on the wall. They have reached their peak is over with. They play tomorrow. Now we're going to get into the series that are just about over with. Boston and the Heat just finished game 4. It is 3-1 Boston. Boston won going away. Jimmy's hurt. It's over with. This is it.
Now, this is bad news and good news. Bad news is you're toast. But the good news is you'll be able to get Kyle Lowry off your books. And you should be able to, with that, reconfigure yourself and go after that one final guy, whether it's Bradley Beal at the guard position, if it's Dame, Donovan Mitchell, all of those guys should be looking to get to a team that plays good team defense. They already have a leader, and you have a guy, whoever shows up there, you're going to be able to get some buckets. You're going to be able to shoot it out like Miami. You're going to be able to shoot what you want.
It's Dame. Dame is the one that needs to go. I could see them maybe going to try to get like a CJ McCollum. They just need scoring. Miami needs scoring. And
CJ McCollum would be good there
because they need somebody that can score because they got all the spot up shooters, but they need somebody else that can they need somebody to facilitate their offense. That's what they
and
really
CJ probably don't eat up all of their money like that. Ooh, 32 million. But it ain't 40. It ain't 40.
What if they try to give the Hawks Tyler Hero for DeJounte Murray?
Do you want to slap him or do you want me to do it?
The Hawks? I'd slap the Hawks.
You think that I would trade my best player for your third best player?
Okay.
Is it
Trade
Is
Trey?
it meth?
They trade him Trey. Trey on that team is still crazy. Any point guard on that team is insane.
If I give you Trey,
they're gonna send you the middle
then
finger because you're not getting Jaime Jaquez. Don't even think about it. Don't even try that. Because they got to keep those 4.
Oh.
They got to keep Jimmy is Hero. That Hero and Duncan Robinson are the trade pieces. They're keeping Jaime. They're keeping Jimmy, and they're keeping Bam.
Hey, well, you finna make me act like I'm Anthony Edwards because I'm finna tell you to suck it.
But yeah, so
if you think you finna trade me, Duncan, hold on. Reggie, what's the moniker here? We go for the blacks. And you think you finna send me? Now I can't even get Jaime Jaquez who's brown. You're gonna send me Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero? Not a chance. Not a chance not on Al Gore's internet, not on Beyonce's internet, not here, not now. I demand Jaime Jaquez, Tyler Hero, 2 first-round picks for Trey. Or we're not talking.
All right, and obviously they're not going to talk. Then. Obviously they're not going to talk. But that series is over with. Another series that looks like it's about to be over with. The Knicks won 97-92 in Game 4. It was another close game. This has been a very entertaining series. Unfortunately, Joel Embiid has Bell's palsy, which is basically like where your facial muscles out of stress just stop working. And we talked about it on Saturday Morning Live. We talked about it. It's stress. And he has Bell's palsy and he's having trouble shooting his free throws. But he went out there in Game 3 and scored 50. So, like, he's still playing well, but at the end of the day, they just don't have enough. They don't have enough for this Knicks team. What's the gather your things guy? Tobias, gather your things. You are out of there, dog.
Out of there. You're gone.
Gone.
So I got a few things here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give Joel Embiid a hall pass. Whatever happens, whatever the outcome is here, you unfortunately ran up number 1 against a buzzsaw. We've been telling y'all for probably the last month, the New York Knicks, when it comes to chemistry and just enjoying playing together as a team, there's not anybody doing it better than the New York Knicks. I'm going to give credit to someone who I have torch for playing people too much.
Thibodeau.
And I mean, and they still been injured now. But I'm just gonna say, at the end of the day, I look at results because I'm results based. The Knicks have been very good, no matter who's available or who's not available. But I can't blame like Embiid clearly out there on a just destroyed knee. You can tell he's hobbling, still giving you 50 points on certain nights with a just terrible knee. And once the Bell's palsy thing, because I'm gonna tell y'all, especially shout out to the world, I've been watching this every night, and I thought I was going crazy until I went to Twitter. I kept seeing Embiid's eyes not blink at the same time, and like, I kind of feel bad because I was doing some digging to figure it out, and he clearly is just trying to hide it. But it's only so many times you can see something strange like that and not have an understanding of what's going on. But the bad knee and Bell's palsy.
Let me tell you something. If I got Bell's palsy and I'm out there score 50 points, and you the second highest paid player on the team, and you score 7 points, I'm sorry, 10 points with 8 rebounds, no steals, no blocks, no assists, 2 personal fouls, a -7 to Tobias, I'm kicking you in your chest with the good side. Whatever side that I can see you with, I'm kicking you in the chest. There is no way in hell that if I'm Joel Embiid, I got Bell's palsy, I scored 50 points, that I go out there and playing my ass off. Tyrese Maxey had 23, Joel had 27, Kelly Oubre had 19, Tobias Harris had 10, and we lost by 5. We scored 92 points, and Jalen Brunson had 47 points. Absolutely.
Don't look left. Don't look right. You Tobias. Don't worry. You'll be playing in Detroit next year. Then in 2 years, Shanghai. Don't worry about it. But
the Sharks,
for sure. Yes. You and Kevin Porter Jr. will be teammates soon, my brother. Soon. But yeah, I'm giving Embiid a hall pass. Whatever has transpired, this not on his record to me.
man,
this is the same.
I'm gonna call you out on that. I don't agree with that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. He's been hurt almost every year that he did not win an MVP.
And you know what? If it was just the leg, I would say you probably weigh too much, which I still think he needs to lose some weight. But the Bell's palsy is where I draw the line.
That's fair.
At that point, I'm out, dog. I'm out.
But the conversation, it sucks to have the conversation, but the conversation still has to be had. Joel Embiid is hurt every year. Every year, right? We get on players that are supposed to be good, i.e. Zion. We get on players that are supposed to be good, and you get frustrated because you see what they can be. We have seen Joel Embiid at the pinnacle of his powers. He scored more points than he played minutes. I don't know. I don't think. See, they said that stat, and people just kind of sat. But wait, hold on. They said that stat, and people kind of step back at that. But at the end of the day, Joel Embiid is hurt every year. The process has now been in the process for 10 years.
Hold on. But this is my thing. I do agree with you. There have been 4 games. Game 1, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Game 2, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block. Game 3, 50 points on 19 shots. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's violation. That's violation. 50 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block. Game 4, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He ain't 100%. And he might be playing the best basketball of anybody in the playoffs, stat-wise.
I mean, stat-wise, yeah.
So, and my leg is falling off, and I only got control of half of my face.
Fair. All of that is still an injury. Those are Bell's palsy. I'll give you that, but everything else is still an injury. So my point is,
if it was just a leg, I would digress.
To me, it
You can't Bell's palsy me.
it shouldn't matter. Again, Bell's palsy shouldn't matter. But to me, you have to have the conversation. Like, dog, Joel Embiid is a generational talent when he's healthy, but he's never healthy.
He gonna have to lose some weight.
That's the other 65 game thing too.
He gonna have to lose some weight. He's gonna have to lose some weight. And if you don't lose weight, I hate to say it, because before the knee thing, he like at his present weight, he don't look fat, out of shape, or he wasn't winded. He only became winded when he had to sit down for the extended period of time and then come back. After the knee surgery,
have to be fat though. He's just solid. He's a big person.
Yeah.
He's just a big person.
But he's gonna have to lose. Like I got like 3 players. Luka, you still need to get in good shape. Like, I like you to death, and I think you're a hell of a basketball player, but imagine how good he could be if he actually like got into real shape one time. And not like Luka shape. I'm talking about like skinny LeBron shape.
So that was my next point. I know we don't like it when players don't train together and all that stuff. It takes the competitive edge out of sports. But y'all need to go sit down with LeBron and figure out what his formula is. Him, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook. You need to go sit down.
Edwards. You need to go sit down with him to see what
I don't say that because Anthony Edwards is young. He's 22. He some of the stuff he doing now and popping back up and playing and being able to back-to-back 37-point, it's going to be hard to do at 35. But what I'm saying is, Joel Embiid, you're at the point now, you're in your 30s. And you ain't never been healthy. At this point, you need to go figure out what you need to do to get into shape, who you need to talk to, get a different chef, change your diet, and you're not fat, but you all that weight on your knees and joints is it's not working.
And Pops Davis and Kevin, he kind of in the same boat as Zion. You just don't want to do it. You don't, and Luka. As much as I like Luka, you just don't want to get in really good shape. You could get into really good shape for a couple months, bro, and be Luka in great shape is scary. Embiid minus 30 or 40 pounds is scary. Zion minus 40 pounds is horrific. That's what nightmares are made of.
I keep going back to that YouTube page with LeBron, where he went in there and LeBron was like he was dancing with a big girl in Holland.
Skinny. When he was real skinny and he had the low cut. Oh man.
What I'm saying is you said Zion had LeBron stressed. You remember? And I'm saying LeBron looked like a dude in Holland dancing with a big girl, a short dude. He was in the paint and Zion, he was doing that right there.
Now that's the only thing that makes me not want to have Zion lose 40 pounds. He was dropping that shoulder in LeBron, and LeBron was making adult decisions about life. He's like, "Hey, young blood, you got to stop doing that to me now."
Hey, ref. He traveled. Like, no, he didn't.
He traveled down here and body slammed. That's what he did. I felt bad for LeBron, man. As a person who just turned 38, we don't deserve that type of treatment, man. Let us be free. We don't need none of that physicality from y'all young whippersnappers. And Zion come down there. You know, he run like this. Do. Man, hit LeBron in the chest. He like,
yep. So that was
y'all keep feeling like this.
It's unfortunate for that series for 76ers. They've got some soul search. They've got a little bit of money, so they could probably this offseason is going to be interesting. They could go get KD, but we'll talk about that later. Pacers Bucks. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a nut. See, nobody talked about that. That's why he comes to the Splashcast. Because if KD goes to Philly and he's from Maryland,
Tobias, I'm a dust bust you right. Don't leave that in here. You ain't coming back.
And you know deals are made in the summer. And what's happening in this summer where both of those players are on the same team? The damn Olympics. I'm telling y'all need to be scared. Because if KD decides I still want to go back to the East Coast, he can go to Philly. They got the money.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
And he'll be down there rapping and doing everything. It ain't nothing you can stop. Oh,
right on the corner. Right on the stoop.
Yeah. Also to the side.
But Miles Turner had a career playoff high, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 made 3-pointers, 3 blocks, and the Pacers end up beating the Bucks. Chris Middleton. Shout out to Chris Middleton, man. I gotta put some respect on your name. I always call you the weakest link, but you are keeping that team afloat. He's keeping that team afloat. But I have never seen a team. I lied. I haven't seen a team like this score this fast since the 7 seconds or less D'Antoni teams, and before that, they look like low-key Showtime. Not saying they are Magic Johnson and all of them, but the way that the Pacers play, they're throwing the
speed and
alley-oops
pace
in the
which
threes.
they play is unreasonable.
God.
Oh, and if anybody knows, it's the Hawks. So they score 160. That's right. For the guy who complained about teams scoring 30 points on a quarter, they upped it by 10 and scored 40 points a quarter on us. I also want to talk about moves that were not made. Miles Turner is a guy who's been in the conversation for being traded for the last couple of years.
He's been on the block just as long as John Collins. That's crazy.
Equal to or greater than. And now it looks like, I mean, at one point, we were talking about let's swap them out. We'll give you Clint and we'll take Miles Turner. Indiana doubled down, made the right decision. They got a bright future, and we don't. And if we had Miles Turner,
Miles, though. They only gave
they didn't let him walk out the door.
They gave him a 2-year, $80 million contract. What they figured out,
it wasn't. And I don't think it was $80 million. I don't think it was that much.
It was $40 million a year, I believe. But you can look that up and fact check for me. But the good thing about Miles Turner is they brought in Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam opens up the floor for everybody on that court.
Correction. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky. They had him for the last 2 years. It was 2 years, $40 million, which is a steal. Now you got to pay him because he's an unrestricted free agent. And, I mean, what do you pay him? You got to probably pay him $30 million a year.
But they made cap space, though. They traded those players to.
But you got to keep him.
Philly. They got rid of Buddy Hield. Yeah, you got to keep him. He can't go. He's 29 and 9 on 7 made 3-pointers, and that team total, they went 12 of 33 from 3. No, they didn't. I'm sorry.
It's the
They went 22 of 43 from 3.
It's the 3 blocks at the 7 made 3-pointers that are the game changers here. A person that's what the Hawks have always been looking for, is the person to patrol the paint and still space the floor. And Miles Turner right now is looking like, I mean, other than Embiid,
he's the modern day center. He is the prototypical modern day center. He shoots the 3, he rebounds decently, but he also blocks shots. That's always the thing about Miles Turner. He has good anticipation.
And he's strong. I got it's pause. Jeez. I had to stop that. But you got guys like Wemby and Chet, but they just don't have the mass that Turner has. Miles is physically imposing and strong and still block shots and still shoot 3-pointers. Could you imagine if Chet had the weight of Miles Turner?
We'll get to Chet because they out there balling. The thing about this game, though, like I said, Middleton played well. He had 27. Bobby Portis got ejected in the first quarter. And you already had Dame.
Punching faces.
You already had Dame and Giannis out. Yeah, he definitely smacked Nembhard. So you had Chris Middleton.
Y'all better leave Bobby alone, though. He ain't going for that bullshit.
And Brooke Lopez and Malik Beasley. You're not gonna beat the Pacers with Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, and Malik Beasley. It's just not gonna happen.
Almost.
Twice.
The
They almost beat
Bucks-
them twice.
The Bucks don't. That's the reason I feel like they should just move on from Dame. Because once again, it's like, what can you give me?
What do you get
For
back
Dame.
Dame, though?
Now then I might be interested in Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero in a first round draft pick.
Yeah, because you can shoot.
Because
Now I said that 3
You got
weeks ago, by the
shooters.
way. I brought that up.
I agree.
My exact trade was Dame for Tyler Hero and whatever other accoutrement you could throw in there to make the trade work. That was my exact trade.
I want Hero. I want a first round draft pick, and I probably want Terry Rozier too. Either Terry Rozier or Duncan Robinson, but I prefer Terry Rozier. But they probably not giving up Terry Rozier
can't
and
have both.
Tyler Hero.
And Duncan
'Cause they
Robinson,
both
you
get-
got to give somebody.
Yeah.
You gotta-
No.
you gotta keep one.
But no. Tyler Hero has to go. Then it becomes, do I get Terry Rozier or Duncan Robinson? I prefer Terry Rozier because he can dribble and shoot versus Duncan Robinson, who is all intents and purposes shooting only.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do think you move on. We talked about what he does mean for next year, because I don't think you can really add much to this team. Bobby Portis is gonna he's gonna want something. I'm sure he's not on a long-term contract.
No, he's not. No, Bobby, Bobby probably he gets a better contract, because if I remember, and we're gonna pull it up, he's on a pretty bad contract. But I think that Bobby understands where his bread is buttered. Either you're gonna have to put me, he's on a 4-year, $48 million. His contract ain't go. I'm not letting him out of my eyesight for $12 million a year. He got player option next year. He surely picks up. But if they're smart, they go ahead and extend him. I will keep it. Hey, how about 3 more years at $13 million, Bobby Portis? You can be a lifelong Buck. You rangy, you play defense, you ain't scared of much. And I mean, when we lost Giannis, he ain't Giannis, but he's a decent Giannis substitute.
Mm-hmm.
So and especially with Middleton, like if whenever Giannis goes out, you can drop Bobby Portis into there, and instead of having like a world beater at the 4 position, you have a guy who's perfectly fine and defensively good enough. Like, you're not gonna whoop Bobby Portis, not physically or on the court.
There's
Like,
only about
you
2
don't
of them
see
that can do it now. Maybe James Johnson with his 7 black belts. Maybe him.
But
Maybe
he's going.
not Precious. Isaiah from Detroit. Maybe
Oh,
him. That's
yeah,
his only.
him.
That's the only 2
Yeah.
I can think of.
He ain't no chump, and he's like minus, Bobby P going full Bobby P. He's
And he
a
from
good
Alabama,
He's a
so
good,
he ain't really looking for a lot of money. He already got all the
and
land he
at
needs.
$13 million, even like boost him. Say we're paying $15-17 million, which of course as the cap goes up, that's a fair market increase. And if any point the Bucks don't want him, I will go get Bobby Portis from
Pop
Milwaukee
Davis
and
said
bring
that's
him
the
to
people's
Atlanta.
champ. He is the people's champ. They love him in
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Our link isn't working for the Thunder's Pelicans, but I'm gonna let you know right now they're tied up in the third quarter, and I'm looking for the Thunder to go ahead and end this one. Zion showed a lot. He got hurt again. Brandon Ingram was hurt, came back, showed a lot, but then Lou Dort put him in the torture chamber, and there's nothing you can do. Shout out to Lou Dort. OKC and Minnesota look poised to carry themselves to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I mean, you have to legitimately ask yourself, can the Thunder represent the West? And I like the Nuggets, but nothing tells me that the Nuggets have I would love to see that as far as a Western Conference Finals, Nuggets and Thunder.
Oh, so you skipping the Timberwolves?
Oh shit!
I said Timberwolves. The Nuggets would be nice, but I think the Nuggets have to play they're gonna end up because the Nuggets will play OKC in the semifinals, the Western Conference semifinals, and the winner of Dallas versus the Mavericks plays. Who's number 1 seed?
We're 1 second. We get into the bracket right now, so we can report correctly. So if and when the Thunder win, they will play the Clippers Mavericks winner, which is cool. Then you have the T-Wolves, who we assume to play the Nuggets. They cannibalize each other. That's going to be a hell of a series, 2 versus 3. Now, I think that the Mavericks, whoever out of the Clippers and Mavericks, your season over with anyway, because the Thunder just match up with you guys at every position. There's not like you can put a guy on somebody and say, "Oh, well."
A healthy
You're
Clippers
good.
team gives the Mavericks a problem. I mean, gives the Thunder a problem because Zubac, no matter he's not great, but he's still 260 pounds. And Chet, well, I do have a lot of respect for Chet because he's showing a lot against Valanciunas, who is still getting 20. He still had 20 rebounds in a game against Chet.
Okay, cool. Valanciunas and Chet, cool. Who's guarding Jalen Williams? Kawhi, cool. All right, Lu Dort, you off on offense. Then you got
he had like 5 3-pointers last game.
No, but what I'm saying is when you look at offense, he's the 5th option.
Yeah,
good, like
he's a spot
decent 5th
3-and-D.
option. Yeah, but I don't worry about Lu Dort killing me. If Lu Dort kills me, I'm dead. I deserve to die. Then you look at Josh Giddey, and you probably put James on Giddey, and then Paul George on SGA. Oh, you're right.
Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, guarding anybody, Isaiah Joe or Jalen. Now Jalen Williams is probably the guy, but but again, what's the factor? The Clippers got to win first, and then they got to be healthy.
And it's tough. It's. I actually think that the Mavericks are a better matchup because you got Gafford, you got PJ Washington, you got guys to throw at OKC a little bit more.
I like Kyrie, but who's gonna get lost in that game? Everybody else other than Luka and Kyrie. All that stuff we talking about, they signed great players. All that don't matter against OKC.
Oh no, but matters. You know what it is. You know what time it is. Y'all better get the rebounds, offensive rebound. You won't win.
Yeah, fight. What? Y'all better fight.
Hey, bro.
So
yeah.
And then of course you got the Nuggets. So we're assuming that right now OKC is down 78-73, but they're gonna win this series. By the time we come back next week, we expect for OKC to have advanced. This game right here we're seeing for the first time a desperate LeBron. LeBron has to play desperate for this LA Lakers team to even have a chance because Denver is the first team I want to say in NBA history that has, or the Lakers are the first team that have had multiple double-digit leads in every game and is down 3-1. Every single game. They blew a 20-point lead. They blew a 12-point lead. They blew a 15-point lead.
Lakers is over. It's over. It's over. And LeBron, take a pay cut, go back to Cleveland, take Isaac Okoro's job. Take it. Just tell him you don't work here anymore. He will understand. He will pack his own bags.
Why would
He'll
LeBron
book
for
his
LA
own
Hell no.
flight, and then he can play for the Shanghai Sharks right next to Kevin Porter Jr. Hey, Isaac, I know you've been enjoying this job, but let me tell you, I'm kind of a big deal around here. You're fired.
I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah. Oh, wow. What a block.
Donovan Mitchell, I understand you want to get out of here. I'm going to take a pay cut. And you know that if me in the East and me taking a pay cut, it's a guarantee for a championship.
Yeah, Eastern Conference Championship at least.
It ain't anywhere you go. If you go to New York, I'm going to make it my personal career point to make sure you don't win a championship. And you can ask certain teams, i.e., the Atlanta Hawks, how when I really don't want you to accomplish anything, you won't. So you need to stay here. Mitchell, stay here. Mobley, wait another year before you get paid. Jared Allen, you're going to have to get to figuring some things here. And then I can bring Cleveland a second championship. Y'all can draft Bronny whenever y'all want to. Just make sure that you draft him, and then everybody can be happy. That's the answer.
Yeah, but right now, the Lakers getting hands and feet put on them like the Jokic brothers doing to the LA Lakers fans. The Jokic brothers out, laid that man out. When you get, dog, like the Lakers getting beat up so bad, they fans getting beat up in the arena. The Joker brothers are crazy.
Okay, so what's the difference between? Okay, it's a little bit of difference because Flage relative jumped down onto the floor.
My man didn't jump just on the floor. Now he jumped over the rail, over the media table, over onto the court, and then squared up with a girl.
That's what he's stupid is that. That's my life. You got down there like, who the first? Oh, I can't hit nobody. You damn fool.
Nah, I'm just out here waiting to get arrested.
Yeah. All right, duck your head, sir. Yeah, I knew y'all was gonna come get me. I didn't know what to do. I got ahead of myself. Yeah, I think that LeBron, do what you do. Fly into Cleveland and save them. It's that time. And you can eject your button right on out of there. You don't have to stay in Los Angeles. Let me tell you, it's getting ghetto in there. And yeah, move on. Leave them holding the bag and that broken player in Anthony Davis that you sold them.
I normally would disagree with you. But when LeBron reacted like this, when they didn't challenge something, LeBron hate Darvin Ham. They they don't listen to him at all. Right here against Denver, they were up 15, down 3-1, and he wanted them to challenge with 9 minutes left. You know what that means? That's fear. It came out as anger, but that Denver team is better than you. That's my point. That was what I was going to say. Being walked down like that just tells me that Denver is a better team than them. They're a better team. When you're up 15 and you're reacting like this right here, that looks like the King Kong photo shoot he had back in the day. That was dumb. That we didn't forget.
The other part was he was mad because he was upset because he didn't touch the ball. The referee gave him the ball fast, and Darvin also didn't request the replay. So he frustrated by the refs not working with him, the coach not working with him, and I didn't do this. And on the replay they show he didn't touch the ball.
And I'm getting my ass beat.
Stomped.
So
LeBron, nobody cares because you picked this team. If you went to the grocery store, bought them groceries, and them groceries that was only good for one day, you bought that milk, and tomorrow it's gonna spoil. You bought that salad, you tried to get it for $2.93. You know the reason it was marked down? Because it's going bad tomorrow. Now everything over there has spoiled. And you looking around at, hey, don't look, once again, don't look left, don't look right. Find a mirror, big dog. It's YOU, my friend. That's simple.
Yep. Now, again, I told y'all I'm going to call everybody out every time that y'all try to use the coach as a scapegoat. We talked about these super teams and these players using the coaches as a scapegoat. Darvin Ham. We talked about Milwaukee, and you see what's happening over there. Darvin Ham, even if he's not working out as a coach, and you don't agree with his philosophy, you can't be the leader of the team and walk out of the huddle. You know what happens when you walk out of the huddle when he's trying to draw up a play? LeBron walks away, AD walks away, D'Angelo Russell's uninterested. Now the rest, those are the big three on that team. Now ain't nobody else gonna care. That's shitty. If you're gonna be like that, you can't be like that in public because you're shortchanging Darvin Ham. At the end of the day, Darvin Ham is gonna look like he can't coach when you pick this team. Darvin Ham is going to look, you were making it seem like Darvin Ham is the problem. And it looks like, to me, if you really want me to be honest, it looks like you really are trying to save your legacy. It looks like you're trying to pass off the losing to somebody else and take credit for all the winning. And that's a sucker move. AD doing it too. We have stretches where we don't know what we're doing on both ends of the floor. LeBron is supposed to be basketball Nostradamus, and you're supposed to be the best defensive player in the league. How about stopping Joker from scoring 30? Hey, we don't need no plays for that. Stop Joker from scoring 30. Everything else you can figure out after that.
Why would you tell somebody you didn't play? This ain't your first season. This ain't Darvin first season. You got all the way to this point in the season and you don't know what you're doing? Reggie, we're not going to specify the company that you work for. But if you tell them, hey, I don't know what I'm doing.
Quarter four of the year? So what were you doing the rest of the year?
The hell you been doing, son?
Give me your bag.
Wait. This is the thing. This is the thing. You get paid what we call a shit ton of money. You getting paid all of this money and you don't know what you're doing at work? Oh, give me my money back then.
Yep. So, I mean, I really just wanted to stand up for Darvin Ham the same way I stood up for Adrian Griffin.
Hold on. $59,043,600 a year for you to not know what. $60 million for you not see. Once again, we slapping necks around here. Anytime that people say stupid things like that, they need to be slapped on the back of the neck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm telling you, and right now Denver has taken the lead. OKC has now taken the lead. SGA has woken up. 5 minutes left in the game. 85-82 OKC. Saturday, we'll let you know. What's up, Sneaky? You ain't missed much, bro. We are talking about the NBA playoffs right now. We are at the final series. Another feather in Adam Silver's cap. The Minnesota Timberwolves theoretically are a super team. But the only reason they're a super team is because Anthony Edwards has progressed so fast. He is probably the face of the league right now. They advanced 4-0. Oh, go ahead.
And what I like about this is he didn't wait for somebody to hand over being the face of the league. He said, hey, who are the people who I need to kill?
This is my team now.
Wait. I got to first kill these two big, tall, light-skinned chumps on my own team and let them know who I am. That took a season. Y'all doubted me last year. Last year, I was just fixing the team. I had to clean this place up so we could compete. So I had to check Rudy. You two, call Anthony Towns. I had to let Carl Anthony Towns know stop. And I love that interview he just had. He told Carl Anthony Towns, like, hey, stop fucking fouling. And Carl Anthony Towns is the adult. And Anthony Edwards is like, he looked like, bro, you heard what I told you to do. And Carl Anthony
And the
Towns
funny
like,
thing
yeah,
is, they
you're right.
released more media where he told all of them that. He said, oh, y'all come here. Rudy, Carl, y'all need to stop fouling. The only reason they in the game is because they fouling. Because we fouling. And it's the truth. Now, I do like that Anthony Edwards, he tells the truth about everything. I think he's modest, even though he seems like he's not. He said that from a basketball perspective, Carl Anthony Towns is their best player offensively because he can't be guarded because of this lineup. There's nobody when he's on his game, and he was punishing Bradley Beal. They went hit him against Bradley Beal like 5 times.
Yo, I told the group. I said, Bradley Beal need to punch him in the face. Like, Carl Anthony Towns. Now, I'm going to tell you, like, Carl Anthony Towns is a little bit of a sucker. Bradley Beal is way too little for you to be trying to get that level of toughness out. And I ain't never seen you get tough with nobody nearly your size. He was down there destroying Bradley Beal on every screen. He was just pushing him down. And like Bradley Beal's not a big human. And Carl Anthony Towns is a large human. And he was just like, nah, bro. And I was getting mad for Bradley Beal. And you could tell Bradley was getting pissed off. It's kind of like when you playing football and you playing against a guy who you just can't block and you get tired of getting your ass whooped, but you can't even be mad because what I'm going to do.
Kendrick Gold.
You could tell.
His name.
You could tell Bradley.
Never forget.
We all been there. We all been there. JV
Motherfucker played 13 years in the NFL at D tackle.
Why do y'all have me playing against this adult? I am not adult size. I'm going to take an algebra 2 class tomorrow. This man is a murderer. And I felt bad for Bradley. Like, he was getting accosted. Like, there was a point where it's like, hey, and you see the refs not even paying him no attention. And I'm like, I can see it at my house in Houston. I know if you on the floor, you can see it. And
so
to a certain
mad.
degree, probably hear him keep hitting the floor. I'm talking about do. I'm like, dog, stop that.
Bro, he was so mad. He was so discombobulated game 4. He had 9 points.
You will be too of a
7
7-footer camera. Rocking your shit.
6 turnovers, and he fouled out in 31 minutes. He fouled like 3 straight times down the floor. And I was like, dog, this is whatever they figured out. They didn't realize that we all taller than everybody. And this team, shout out to Bradley
Anthony
Beal.
Towns.
This is how I knew he was going to be.
Carl
Bradley
Anthony Towns
Beal,
was rocking that shit like he was the dream. Rocking that shit like
Ooh. And it had Bradley Beal up there saying, ooh, something about I'll be there. He said he had never been swept. He said, and I'll be damned if that happens. First off, we roasted you for saying you never been swept by playing on the Wizards, like you be in the playoffs every year. Yeah, you might have never been swept. You only been to the playoffs once.
Yeah. You've never been in a place where they will bring brooms to. Well, you got swept in the season series, bro. You don't go to enough playoffs for that to be a thing for you. But I felt bad for Bradley because they were just letting him get destroyed. But Carl Anthony Towns, you're right. When you have Rudy at the 5, patrolling the paint, and this is the reason that you can't be a prisoner of the moment like people were last year about the Timberwolves. Oh, this will never work. This is stupid. This will never work. And then you figure out, the 7-footer who can play in the paint and at the same time, he can just stand out there. He's perfectly comfortable standing out there all day shooting threes. That, as much as that frustrates me about Carl Anthony Towns,
with this team,
he'll stand out there all day.
It works. And you don't get no rebounds. Rudy has all the help defense, and Ant plays defense. And then they got McDaniels out there just chilling, guarding everybody. Like anybody else that don't feel like being guarded by Rudy is Jaden McDaniels. It's like, bruh. And he was talking so much trash.
It's 2 things in there. Number one, I give Anthony Edwards a ton of credit. He was like, yeah, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Jaden McDaniels. And in that moment, it sounded real stupid. And then you see him play, and he was like, but Anthony Edwards, I'm not saying that he's Michael Jordan, but he does channel that Michael Jordan where he'll give you confidence for life. I think he 100% has injected confidence into all these guys who I think individually probably don't have. I can tell you Carl Anthony Towns don't have the most confidence. I can tell you Rudy Gobert and his big crying Stifle Tower ass ain't got the most confidence. But when you playing with Anthony Edwards, you either going to have this confidence or you going home. And I think that he does do it a little bit different than Jordan. He like makes his guys
to suck it.
Yeah. He's a guy who, where Jordan would beat the fear into you, I think that Anthony Edwards does a thing of just like, I need you. But I need you, but I don't need just you. I need you to be your best you. And I can't take nothing other than your best you.
I think that's just because he's young. I think Jordan, when he was young, wasn't the angry dictator. So wasn't the angry dictator.
So the reason I say that is this is the difference between Anthony Edwards and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was going to beat you up. And I think that Anthony Edwards probably figured out, okay, these guys let them know how much I need them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because Jimmy Butler was minus. I mean, he was there, and they were good. So you're right. Is that me or you that froze?
Anthony Edwards
Oh, there you
is
go.
me, and I got the lurk face. But yeah, I think that that was scary, even for me. But yeah, I couldn't even imagine Anthony Edwards and Jimmy Butler at the same time. Woo, pause,
Yeah.
pause.
So,
pause.
the Timberwolves, man, that team, that
That was
team
terrible.
looks good, man. I like them. Again, more players, star players, playing GM, putting together these teams, and then blaming the coach by saying, "Oh, Frank Vogel's job security is in peril after 1 year, and he could be fired," which is unfortunate because he's starting to get that reputation because he did it where? In LA.
Now, this is a twofold project for me, or twofold opinions for me. Number one, I'm not really sure Frank Vogel is really a good coach. I think that he is a guy who's just been.
I think
He's a guy.
I mean, defensive coach.
I think that he is kind of a Jerry Jones guy. I go to places where, like, I get hired in places where I'm not going to step on the stars' toes. My job is trying to facilitate everybody getting along. But the Suns team, this ain't his fault, but I'm not sure if he's a good coach. So but it's also not James Jones, the GM's fault. Remember, once again, shout out to the Splashcast, being the realest podcast you've ever listened to. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe. Playlist coming out on Wednesday. Go back and listen to the other one. Matt Ishba. He was the one that came in and made these meteoric trades. He was the guy who traded for Bradley Beal. And I'm telling you, Bradley Beal seems to be the poison pill on this team. So don't get the firing. Like, whatever has happened with Frank Vogel, he's managing the best that he can with the bad roster.
Yeah, and I don't even think Bradley Beal is technically the poison pill. You made Bradley Beal run point guard. He ain't never played point guard. He's always been the scorer. So you trying to get a scorer, and a scorer to share the ball with no point guard on the court. It's not going to happen.
Correct.
So that's where now, you're right, Frank Vogel is trying to figure it out. But at some point, it's like, bro, y'all got to go get somebody. Go get any. You know who they would have benefited to have? CP3. Just get me the ball to shoot.
They honestly made a couple really bad moves. I think that DeAndre Ayton is a better Sun. I think the Suns are better. I think they should have kept CP. And if now that money don't work at all.
You wouldn't be able to get both of them.
But yeah, I mean,
Sneaky said,
now this is where,
yeah, it does. You try to, it takes all their superpowers away by making them the point guard.
If it's me, I get old boy. I think he plays with the Spurs, I think, or he used to play with Washington. What's the kid name? Trey something. Is it Trey Jones? Yes.
Yeah, he's good. He was in Memphis, and he got that contract. I think he's in Is he in Minnesota? He was in Minnesota last year.
No.
And then he was
yes.
in Memphis.
If I could have had Trey Jones running the point, and then also I do think they should.
hold on. Sneaky said DeAndre Ayton at least would have had a bed in Phoenix and not an air mattress. You froze. Oh no, you didn't. There you go.
No, I didn't. It's just every time I think about how stupid he is, it pisses me off. That's your problem. That's how you ended up in Portland in the first place, being stupid all the time. But yeah, I just think I think overall this is just not, this is on the owner. He's made these poor decisions. Don't fire other people because of your missteps. And if you start that as a leader, I'm going to tell you, it's gonna be hell on your organization because them people didn't make you do that. You did that. Now, which if you really a good leader, you own up to it. Say, hey, I made a mistake, and you fix it. But if you fire Frank Vogel, you Dan Snyder.
One thing about leadership I've learned in the short time I've been in leadership position, delegation is key. You as the leader cannot do it all. If you're the owner, it's very few owner GM combos. I don't think there's any in basketball. I think Mark Cuban was the last one. I don't even think that was GM. I think that was owner president. So it's very few owner GM combos. And in football, it's Jerry Jones. That's it. So you got to learn how to delegate. And you can't think that you just going to come here with a bunch of money, write a bunch of checks. Because Adam Silver, while you got the money, Adam Silver got the rules. And I can change the salary cap how I want to. I can add the tiers. I can add the aprons. I can do whatever. And there's nothing you could do. And no, Frank Vogel is not Jason Garrett. Frank Vogel is the stopgap player now. He's the stopgap coach. That's what he's going to. They're going to get another young, good coach. I don't know what they do with KD. Oh, this is what I'm saying. Oh, you froze? There you go. KD. Where does KD go? I already said Philly. I say Philly is the move. But that would involve taking Tobias Harris. Or no, I don't know how you make that money work.
I don't think that. I mean, you could. I don't. Hold on. Well, let's
check your camera.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this from an educated point of view. If the camera ever comes back. So you got Kevin Durant, $49 million. And then you have Kevin Durant. Well, no, you have Kevin Durant, $50 million, and then after that, he's unrestricted.
You can go to Philly.
I personally, I don't.
It's a lot of old.
Yeah,
bad,
he could.
There's a lot of old bad legs out there, though.
Yeah, but if you Philly, do you really want that?
I mean, it gives you a third. It gives you a third. Legit score.
Yeah, but you got a $50 million guy who is unrestricted at the end of the season. So whatever, you can't give a lot away for him. But Phoenix is gonna want but they're gonna want a lot back.
Joker is ridiculous. Joker, bruh. LeBron putting on a masterpiece, and they're only up 5, and 3. Nope, 5. They missed it. You froze again. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, while Norwood gets his camera fixed, we have finished the basketball portion of episode 149 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. We're gonna take a quick 30-second break, get you another beverage. Got some football stuff to talk about. The draft. Oh, what did I miss?
No. I was saying we're gonna need 1 minute. I gotta reach out to my boy B, the bartender. He'll get me straight again. I'm gonna tell y'all, whiskey sour from Bartesian. Impact.
Bartesian. Hey, if you want to donate a Bartesian to the Splashcast production studio, Bartesian.
Yes.
You want to do that? A Sneaky said if Kevin Durant goes to Philly, then OKC won 97-89, 4-0 sweep. Then you could put anybody at the 2 and the 4. Or the 2 and the 3. It is what it is. But
you still got Oubre who I know he'll be there early. What time y'all need me to be there?
Bro, Joker is ridiculous. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. Like, follow, subscribe. We'll talk about some football. Got the draft, and of course, some things were returned without people having to steal them back. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
Rest in peace, OJ. Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah. Smiling while my diamonds hitting, cause I could've missed it. They just got my bro pill, but he's still staying optimistic. Skinny white boy with the muscle, point him out, I get him lifted. The breadwinner in my hood, my pockets empty every Christmas. Beat the odds and all statistics, you ain't get it, you ain't wanting us. Sliding in his ghost, fed investigations haunting us. Bulletproof to escalate, the stizzy lift the console up. 100,000 cash, got it feeling like an armor truck. My shooter from Somalia, fly bitches out LaGuardia. We got something by the bouncer that'll tear this whole party. Told him my schedule too hectic to go back and forth in Texas. I'm flying back and forth to Texas, but I used to bag the extras. Got me praying for forgiveness. She love me for my litness, but if I ever fail, that bitch will fall out with the quick. Can't even kick it with this rapping shit they saying sound the script. Open scars I shouldn't pick with memories I can't revisit till I'm 30 million liquid. I don't think I let a day slide. He was scared to take the state ride, and now he plays for they side. Yeah, he on the DA side, pointing out the legend things. Young and got a chrome heart, he out there letting metal rain. The scarf around my face, had it crossing for my face. They trying to prove conspiracy, cause I know every narco in the state. Alejandro in the race, I really got it off of base. $250,000 on my flesh, I pray to God to keep me safe. Lord, forgive me for my sins, so when he crossed me. Devil's gripping on my skin, can't shake him off me. Might shed a tear behind his chin, but you won't see it though. So much hatred made me bulletproof the vehicle. I'm a soul survivor, shooter and a driver. Throw that shit on every night, might mix the Louis with the pride. Soul survivor, shooter and a driver. Every day I'm taking risks, we tap dancing over lava. Yeah.
One Glock 40 with 100 clip. I've been riding bulletproof since 26. This shit like the mafia, you try me, we strike everybody you running with. My homie died, I'm talking to his mind cause I can stomach it. My other dog got life in the cell. No, I ain't ducking shit, he knowing I won't never switch. I'm always gonna pick up his shit. Drop money to his girl 100 times and I won't touch his bitch. I watch the way they move when I'm outside and I won't fuck with it. Niggas gonna dick ride and let you slide, you gotta color it. Even if you telling it, I'm telling you it's evident. They will lock you up and give you life without no evidence. How the fuck the teacher telling me I could be the president? I can show you how you make $1 million like a specialist. Moving really fast, the oil started contesting it. And niggas having pressure about some money, stop rushing it. Cause this shit that I'm talking to turn a broke man to a hustler.
Might shed a tear behind his chin, but you won't see it though. So much hatred made me bulletproof the vehicle. I'm a soul survivor, shooter and a driver. Throw that shit on every night, might mix the Louis with the pride. Soul survivor, shooter and a driver. Every day I'm taking risks, we tap dancing over lava. Yeah.
You good?
Tell me when to say love me, Ginger.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. I need your loving, so fresh, so clean. Love me in and out, unfailingly, and I'll be down now. Anytime you call me, I'll be down. I'll be down. Because I love and I love and I love and I love you only. Because I need and I need and I need and I need you more. Yeah, you know I run and I run and I run and I run. Fly, we can fly in the sky in the night. Hold me in your arms and your love and your light. I'm on your wave right now. I'm on your wave right now. Yeah. I'm on your vibe now. You got me on your side now. Yeah. I'm on your wave right now. Yeah. If not you, then I don't wanna know. I don't want no story. Day and night is unconditional. Got me living softly. Yeah, yeah. Let me judge ya.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our final segment of episode 149 of the Splashcast, Monday Night Raw. The boy Norwood had to do an equipment change over there. We are back with our football segment, man. Boy got the beverage. Got mine as well. If you want to donate the Bartesian to Splashcast Studios, let me know. DM us. I will send you the address to Splashcast Studios, a.k.a. my house. And we will shout you out. With that being said, man, we got a few things we're gonna talk about in football. I don't even know how quick of a discussion this is going to be because this was such a momentous weekend in the NFL. It marks the start of the next NFL season, or the next NFL offseason. Really was the NFL draft. But before we get there, we're going to talk about some college first. That is behind the scenes. This is literally just 30 seconds to let y'all know that Jaden Rashada, this is a callback to 52 weeks ago. 52 weeks ago, we talked about Jaden Rashada, who was a high school 5-star quarterback that signed a NIL deal he committed to Miami, flipped to Florida after being promised a $13 million NIL deal. After he signed his national letter of intent, they reneged on the deal. He got upset and said, I'm out. Got released. They changed the rules. He went to Arizona State, balled out for a year, which we knew what he was going to do. And now he has entered the transfer portal, and he is now committed to Georgia, who Carson Beck is a senior, Gunnar Stockton. He'll be fighting it out with Gunnar Stockton and 2 freshmen to be the backup quarterback. How you feel about that, Norwood? Sneaky said, "Is this kid actually good?" Is the actual question, which is true.
That it don't matter. It does not matter if he's good or not. It don't matter. It don't matter at all. I'm gonna tell you why. Let me fix my camera. Let me get myself together. I'm irritated. I'm mad. I'm hypersensitive. Let's talk about a couple things here. First of all, for y'all who really, really listen to the pod religiously, shout out to you guys. Jaden Rashada was highly touted quarterback that the Florida Gators and Billy Napier promised $1 million in NIL. It was very simple. We're going to pay you $1 million. You come to Florida and play quarterback.
It's supposed to be 13 over 4 years is what it was.
Jaden Rashada goes to Gainesville, signs, hey, you said it, I'll do it. I come here. Soon as he get to Gainesville, before he could even take his sneakers off and put his cleats on, we ain't got your money. So he probably gets the hell on.
Sneaky said
that's how he
Anthony Richardson.
Hey, y'all play what y'all want to. Anthony Richardson finna be that dude. And if you look now, well, we'll talk about that later in a second. I'm right here right now. So first of all, you didn't pay him and lost him. That sucks, but it's not the end of the world. To don't pay him, lose him, and then have him go to your biggest rival,
along with the running back.
Hold on. Don't get ahead of your skis. We gonna get to all of this. So
just didn't want you to forget. That's all.
You allow him to get to University of Georgia. And now he's gonna be motivated to whoop your ass because you owe him $1 million. And I hate to say it, you do owe him $1 million. And if you owed me $1 million, like that girl owed me my $375, sometimes you gotta cut a little ass. So I hope that Rashada makes you pay for what you owe. I don't care who it is, my team included. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Y'all did him wrong, and I hope he has a Def Jam vendetta against you. Next, Lil Etienne.
Oh.
No. Lil Etienne transferred from Florida to Georgia because he was not going to be running back number 2 for a team
that don't have a running back number 1.
Exactly. He is going to go to UGA, and Reggie don't believe me yet, but I think he's coming around to it. He is going to be RB1 for arguably the best team in the country.
Oh, yeah. That's the spring game has convinced me of that. He averaged 8 yards a carry against the number 1 defense.
Exactly. Now I'm glad that you're coming around to it. I'm also sad that you're coming around to it. That's an unfortunate place for me to be in because I know how good he is. So you have Rashada, who said, boy, fuck you. You have Etienne, boy, fuck you, and you better hope I win a championship. There's a high chance that I could move from Florida and the ghetto to UGA and be in the promised land because I don't have to do everything here. I just got to do my job. Everybody else on this team gonna get drafted.
Florida, and I ain't gonna get beat up. It's gonna be 15 carries for 100 yards.
Had one person drafted, Ricky, and I told y'all Ricky was a monster.
Yeah, one person. Only one. Wow.
Then we got Prince Yuya Mamalian. I don't know how to say his name exactly. He done went to Ole Miss and he's talking shit. We've gotten to a point where we're the person that gets tried, and we don't have an answer because we can't fight back. It ain't none of these teams that I feel confident that we show up and slap somebody. And it's mostly because we got to go get somebody else. But even in the past when we've had players leave and go other places and have coaches not be as successful, never got to the point where Florida was the place to get chumped off. That's the thing that is in new territory for me. And I don't hate them for chumping them off. Billy's a chump until proven otherwise. They ain't wrong. And I think that Ricky's going to have a better pro career than his college career. I think Anthony Richardson is going to have a better college career than, going to have a better pro career than college career. I hate to say it, but we turned into who? Georgia, where our
Mark
players
Rick.
go.
I was about to say, y'all sound like Mark Rick. Jim Donnan, 8-4.
That's where we are now. Now, the best thing that has happened to us, and is also the most unfortunate thing that happened to us, is that second half of a schedule. It's where men are going to be made. And either you're going to go home or you're going to win. Those are the only two options. It ain't no objective.
That schedule about to send y'all to the upper room. That schedule is over with. LSU, Georgia, Alabama. Is it Alabama? No, Texas.
Ole Miss,
Texas. Ole
Tennessee, Texas, Miami, Florida State. Oh, we finna get stomped out. We are not equipped. Nothing. And it's not like we have a young team and everybody's like, oh, look at all the guys. I don't know anybody on this. The person who I'm excited about will be playing for a different coach, and that's DJ Lagway. That's it.
He might not stay. He might not even stay there. He might not even stay there. That's the thing.
And I can't blame him for leaving.
Because say what you want about USC and Lane Kiffin. Not Lane Kiffin. Ooh. USC and what's his name? They done had they done had a Heisman Trophy winner. He done sent three quarterbacks to the pros. Sneaky said, ain't nothing a few screens can't handle.
Yeah, this is
bubble right, the bubble left. But moving on, man.
Yo, don't disrespect me like that. And let's be real, we don't have Ricky to throw the ball to. The screens are dead. We are dead. Screens are dead. Ding dong. The Gators are dead.
Y'all got DJ Lagway, so he's nice. But all right, we'll get out of there.
We got to wait for Graham Mertz to retire from football first.
Y'all be a stupid ass. Reggie Bush got his 2005 Heisman Trophy back amid enormous changes in the college football landscape. We thought it would be best to return Reggie Bush's trophy back. If you remember, he had forfeited it in 2010 in the wake of significant NCAA sanctions on USC for accepting, I think it was $300,000 in a house. So now these guys are Jaden Rashada decommitted for $1 million. So congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Well, but don't that mean don't take this as a shot. Don't y'all have a couple of those out there? Some helmets and some.
No, Tom Gary?
Wasn't it somebody else? I feel like it was a receiver that got into something too by signing some jerseys, tattoos. I don't remember. That's back before y'all was good, so I
That's
wasn't
Ohio
paying a
State.
whole lot of attention.
Tattoos and signing stuff is Ohio State.
Oh, that's Jim Tressel. You're right. You're
Mhm.
right.
Because Ohio State would have won 5 more championships. They kept Jim Tressel. He had that factory booming in Columbus. So
Business was for sure booming.
yeah, boy. And they said you can't get tattoos. They got free tattoos and told them nope, fire. But that's really all we have for college per se. We are now gonna get to the portion that caused a lot of controversy. The NFL draft. We'll get to the picks, but we would be remiss as your HBCU homeboys to not point out that again, the NFL draft did not draft any players from HBCUs, even with the portal open, even with proven stars as Houston that came from Jackson State that now plays for Detroit. For the second straight year, no HBCU players were selected. Last year, there was a player selected from West Virginia College of Mining, and no HBCU players drafted. West Virginia College of Mining stadium holds 200 people.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is the thing for me is I feel a little conflicted. I mean, I don't feel conflicted. It's wrong. But I think they know at this point we can just get the HBCU players as undrafted free agents and not have to pay them really anything. It's an insurance policy. I can go get those guys. I know the guys that are good, and I don't have to pay for it. That's like, at the end of the day, it's not right. It's definitely not right. But I also understand as a person doing money and math, how, I'm just not paying for that. I can get it for cheap.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's a terrible way to look at it. That sounds like, ooh, I may have to mark this to cut this out. But that sounds like a reinvention or a reimaginated way of slavery to me. So we just not gonna draft none of the black people or to come from a black school, HBCU, because we ain't got to pay them because we already have put out the narrative that they're not good anyway, even though they're literally starting in the league. That sounds terrible. My angle that I was going to take here was because you have the NIL, because you have so many people transferring in and out, you have more players available to more of these teams. You have super teams now. You have an influx of talent. There is a huge influx of talent into NCAA football. And when you have all of these players, it's very, very difficult for HBCUs who don't have all the money to attract all of these guys. And then you have HBCU players, again, this graphic does not take into the account the players that transferred from HBCUs to Power 5 schools and non-Power 5 Division I schools to play. So there's a lot of players that transferred from HBCUs because they got the opportunity to play at FSU, or they got the opportunity to play at Texas, or they got the opportunity to play somewhere else. So now when they get drafted, they don't show the side-by-side helmet that Jahmyr Gibbs had from Georgia Tech and Alabama. They just show Alabama. They don't show who they started with. So now HBCUs are also not getting the credit for the players that transferred, even though they developed at the HBCUs. So that's a problem for me. And honestly, dog, I said it's a surprise, but it's not.
It's not.
It's a surprise when players are drafted from HBCUs. But it's going to change, though. I have faith that it's going to change. I don't know why. I don't know how it's going to change. Another surprise.
Okay, Sam Cook, how much ain't going to come?
Another surprise that's not a surprise. 0 running backs taken in the first round of the draft. This draft was everything but running backs. I think every position except for safety and running back was drafted in the first round. I'm pretty sure that's correct, what I said. D-line, O-line, cornerback, wide receiver, tight end, quarterback were all drafted in the first round. There will be no running backs. And honestly, I don't see this changing for a while. I don't know of a great running back that's going, because they've been devalued so much, you are going to be able, or you're going to have to be able to, you might as well not play running back no more. The running back position might be dead. You might see more and more Deebo Samuels out here. Wide receivers that are classified.
I'm not playing running back.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw they had the little 6-foot kid. I think that he committed to Tennessee or somewhere. I said, hey, kid, transfer. I mean, you need to change your position. It's literally not, it's not millions of dollars. It's tens of millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. It's the difference between getting paid $10 million a year and $30 million a year. And you still, like, now, let me help y'all out a little bit. Bijan gonna fix that.
Yep.
I can guarantee you Bijan is going to fix that. That is the only thing that you have as a running back right now. But I'm going to tell you, if you're a running back right now, you better be learning how to catch and run routes. Because if you can do that, then you're safe.
Eddie just hurt his shoulder. Yeah.
Season over, my boy.
So no HBCU players, no art running backs. It's unfortunate, but I think there was a lot of still good players, and there were so many good HBCU players signed that are undrafted free agents. Is going to be a problem. Also, first round, there were 6 quarterbacks taken in the first.
I'm dragging to this now.
6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. Starting with Caleb Williams, ending with Bo Nix at 12 to Detroit to Denver. Ha ha ha, Sean Payton. The stench of failure will be on you yet again. So you had 6 players, which was really, I think, the most quarterbacks taken in the top 15 ever in history. And then at the same time, there were 0 picks of quarterbacks in the next 88 picks. 88 plus 12 is 100. 100 picks is the 3rd round. That means no more picks from the middle of the first all the way to the 3rd round. 4th round. 33. Yeah, 32, 64, 96. 4th round.
So let me help you out a little bit. So Bo Nix was the last quarterback drafted in the first round at 12. The next quarterback drafted was pick 150 from the Saints for Spencer Rattler. In the common era, there has not been a space that long without drafting quarterbacks. So I'm going to give y'all a quick rundown of every quarterback drafted. Caleb Williams, numero uno. Jaden Daniels, numero dos. Drake May, numero tres. Mike Penix, ocho. Then you had J.J. McCarthy drafted at 10. Bo Nix drafted at 12. Then it went from 12 to 150. You got Spencer Rattler at 150. You got Jordan Travis, which is a really good pickup, I think, at 171 for the Jets. Devin Leary at Kentucky. I don't know who that man is. And then you have the Packers drafted Michael Pratt from Tulane at 245. Also don't know who that man is.
Sneaky
you did hear us right.
Spencer Rattler is not 2 rounds worse than Bo Nix.
No. Bo too high, Spencer too low.
Spencer just right.
Too low. Way too low. In this draft,
Spencer Rattler.
If you tell me J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Spencer Rattler, I say pick whichever one you like. You mostly wrong, but you ain't the most wrong. They're cousins.
I think Spencer Rattler has more.
He has a bigger upside than Bo Nix and J.J. McCarthy. Hands down to me.
We'll see. It's the mental side for him. And I hate saying that about black quarterbacks because I don't like that. He has all the arm talent, but he's
J.J. McCarthy ain't the mental fortitude.
JJ
and I'ma
McCarthy
tell you,
is Kirk Cousins. He is not going to make the mistake.
He'll never be Kirk Cousins.
He is not going to make the mistake. Listen to what I'm saying.
He's not going to throw the ball.
He's not going to make it, whatever. He ain't going to make the mistake. Spencer Rattler going to throw it into quadruple coverage. I've seen it. He played at South Carolina.
I agree with that, but give me the like. It's like the same way.
Triple coverage.
It's like Jameis. Y'all keep picking Daniel Jones and don't want Jameis. I hate to tell you, the Jameis is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones every day of the week.
Daniel Jones won't throw 30 interceptions. That's the point. Jameis threw 30 interceptions. 30.
And what Daniel Jones gonna get you besides fired?
What is Jameis gonna get you besides fired?
At least go down in the blaze of glory. Y'all
30 interceptions. Okay. Y'all heard this. He would rather have the quarterback throw 30 interceptions.
At least you're trying. Daniel Jones sucks, and he's always sucked. Jameis Winston was almost kind of good for a little bit, and we think that as good as Derek David Daniel Carr, he's probably okay there.
Wow, LeBron. Wow.
Jameis should be starting to me. I'm sorry. And I'm going to tell you, let's go ahead and get it out of here. If I'm Justin Jefferson, and you told me you came back with JJ McCarthy, don't call my phone. I want to trade. Don't talk to me. I am the best wide receiver in the NFL, and you think you're going to get a guy who's not the best in college? Don't talk to me. Talk to my agent. Don't even look at me. Broncos and Bo Nix, I get it. Sean Payton is looking for a guy.
What? What Migo say? What Migo say? Fuck no. What were you thinking, Sean Payton?
This is the thing. This is the thing with the Broncos. They're not the Vikings. The Vikings have an expectation of having a high-powered offense because you have Addison, Justin Jefferson, and who do they have at tight end? They got a decent tight end too. TJ Hawkinson, excuse me. So yeah, you have everything other than a quarterback. And then especially if I'm Justin Jefferson, boy, you telling me I gotta look at Drake London and Kyle Pitts, have two quarterbacks better than my one quarterback? Oh hell no! I want out. I want eject. And Minnesota, I don't care if y'all don't never win another season. If I'm Justin Jefferson, I want out immediately. I don't need to get to camp. I don't care about nothing other than getting the hell away from you guys because you're not serious. And shout out to the Falcons for ruining the draft. The Falcons ruined the draft at 8.
So this gets right into it. Let's talk about it. The Falcons draft class, 2024 draft class, as you can see, our number 8 draft pick that shocked the world. My father, Pops Davis, who was on the chat, I think he has to go to sleep because he has to get up and drive to Birmingham tomorrow. But he said, he called me, the draft was Friday, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He called me on Monday and said, hey, I'm letting you know now, I keep hearing stuff, keep reading stuff about Michael Penix Jr. going 8. And I was like, 8? No. Falcons will trade down before they do that. What happened? Michael Penix Jr. was drafted at 8. And I had nothing to say. I had y'all heard me on Saturday Morning Live. I didn't know what to feel. I just sat there. Because on one hand, you just paid Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed. Michael Penix Jr. has had 4 season-ending surgeries. 2 knees, 2 shoulders.
Correct.
He's 24 years. He'll be 24. I was like, dog, this looks fishy. But then I started listening to Terry. I started reading.
That's the new Big T. That's new Big T. Big Terry Fontenot, not Trump. We're talking about Big T. New Big T.
Linebacker. So he was, I started listening to him and he said, look, And I fully believe that Terry did not think that he thought that Michael Penix was going to get traded. Somebody was going to trade up for him. But when that happened and nobody traded up and he fell to 8, I'm not mad at it. One thing Terry did, and Terry learns, he will never be put in the same predicament to fail again. We had 0 quarterbacks last year. 0. We had 1.5. We had 1 quarterback year before. You could take all 3 of them and it comes up to 1. You take the 2 last year, it comes up to none. He said in the press conference after the draft, he said, we will never be in that position again. We'll never be. If this works out, we will never be in the position to draft at 8 again because Kirk Cousins, we believe we can win with Kirk Cousins right now. And Michael Penix Jr., we believe, is good enough that we won't be able to draft this high again. So if we have a chance to get Kirk to Michael Penix Jr., then why not get him? And my final thing I'm going to say before I'm going to throw this to you. Uh-oh. You froze? Oh, there you go. I'm going to throw this to you. Everybody keeps talking about how crazy this is. How crazy this is. How crazy this is. And I agree. It looks crazy on the outside. But adjusting for inflation, let's talk about it real quick. There was another quarterback who had 2 season-ending surgeries in a mild concussion that kept him out for 3 weeks. There's another quarterback or another team that had just signed a similar game manager. Let me go to my favorite. So I'm going to pull this up because I saved this. I'm going to show y'all bookmarks, mobile bookmarks. Bookmarks bar. Yeah, here it is. There's another quarterback had 3 season-ending surgeries in a system that accentuated his talents. And that team drafted him even after re-signing a quarterback who was a game manager. That team is the Kansas City Chiefs. They had re-signed Alex Smith for a $94 million contract at the time, which, if you adjust for inflation, increased cap salary and all of that stuff, was about $100 and something million. He got $75 million guaranteed. 71. They drafted Patrick Mahomes at 10. Patrick Mahomes had a torn patella tendon that kept him out a year. He had a broken wrist that kept him out a year. And he had a mild concussion that kept him out the last 3 weeks of the season. But he had all the arm talent. He ran a 4.5 at his pro day. And the Eagles had just signed and got, I'm sorry, not the Eagles. The Chiefs had just gotten Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. They got a new coach. They got a new offensive coordinator. And he came out there. They worked with him on his footwork. And 10 games later, the rest is history. I'm not saying that Michael Penix Jr. is going to turn into Patrick Mahomes. But what I'm saying is we keep talking about how crazy this sounds. How crazy it is for the Falcons to sign Kirk Cousins and draft Michael Penix. And this is crazy and it'll never work. But what if it does? What if it works? Let's talk about that.
That's some boy sound like Kanye. Well, they wonder what happened if I never won a Grammy. I guess we'll never know.
What if it works, bruh? What if this works? No. What if Kirk Cousins gives you 2 years and he's good for 2 years?
Clear out.
And then you get Michael Penix Jr. to be good for the next 8. And he's good from 26 to 34. That's 10 years.
Hold on. Let's think about it like this. If you look at the quarterbacks that came out this year, there's only one guy that you can confidently say you have to pick before Michael Penix Jr. Maybe two. But if you're really considering pure passers, and the Falcons had Michael Penix Jr. as the best pure passer in this draft class.
A lot of people did, not just the Falcons.
Then, number one, we were never getting to Caleb Williams. And let's be real, we were never getting to Jaden Daniels. Never a chance in hell. It's like women. Sir, if I never call her Beyonce. She never gonna give me her number. That's fine. I'll deal with Kelly. And I'm happy here. But this is what we got. We got second or third best quarterback in this draft class. The very next thing that I did was look at the very next draft class. So everybody who's like, oh, well, y'all already paid $100 million for a quarterback. Well, yes, but not really. Because we already gave him 50. We're going to give him another 30. We'll owe him $20 million next year. At $20 million, we didn't pay cap hits bigger than that, baby. We just got rid of Matt Ryan.
$47 million cap hit.
I don't blink at 20. I blink at it. You scare me. So next year's draft at quarterback, you have number 1, Carson Beck. I don't think that Carson Beck is better than Michael Penix Jr. Especially I don't think that Carson Beck is better next year after having Michael Penix Jr. be able to sit for a season behind Kirk Cousins, who is arguably, from everything that I've heard, one of the best teammates available. Next quarterback that is available, no, Quinn Ewers. I think that Michael Penix sitting for 1 year behind Kirk Cousins also better than Quinn Ewers. Then after that, you know who's next. Big, I don't want him. Shedeur Sanders. I think that Michael Penix Jr. also better than Shedeur Sanders. So, sure, we got the third best quarterback in this draft. We got the best quarterback in next year's draft. So, we don't even know who the next guy is up. Out of the next 2 years, we got the best available. And let's be real. Kirk Cousins is 30-something years old. He's been in the NFL for 12, 14 years, whatever it is. If Kirk Cousins had been with the Falcons for the entire time and we drafted a quarterback, nobody will look at us any different. Oh, no, you're preparing for the future. You don't want to end up like the Pittsburgh Steelers with the Ben Roethlisberger fiasco.
Yeah, that's about the money, though. But I agree with everything you're saying. With Michael Penix Jr., he can throw. The thing about Michael Penix Jr. is he can push the ball down the field, and we have players that can now go up and get the pack, go up and get it on a jump ball, and go. We have Rome Odunze, we have Kyle Pitts, we have Drake London. That's everything that you needed there. We have all of that. So now you just got to learn the offense.
And there's another part of this. We paid a quarterback who had a rough injury. So we're not sure if Kirk Cousins is going to be ready. We're not sure if Kirk Cousins is going to be able to play the whole season. So no R. Kelly, Jay-Z here, but this is the best of both worlds. If we need a quarterback this season, we could use him.
Joker,
if we don't,
this Joker. I'm sorry. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm a mute myself as I watch this.
If we got the best quarterback available, we got the best quarterback that we could get in this draft. We got the best quarterback in next year's draft. And on top of that, we have an insurance policy for our quarterback who's injured. I mean, Falcons are starting to make, now it's going from checkers to chess to 3D chess. We're playing into the future. And what's the worst thing that can happen? Kirk Cousins go out, win the NFC South and win a playoff game or two, and then Michael Penix doesn't play for another year? Well, we got him for 5. You know that, right?
And that's not the best thing. When I found out that the Taints were trying to trade up to get Michael Penix Jr. along with the Seahawks and the Raiders, when I found that out and Terry was like, oh, well, we going to draft him. And then it came out that the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Vikings had a truce to say that we're not going to trade up and you're going to get Penix, we're going to get Nix, and y'all are going to get JJ. Oh, yeah. Terry, I don't know if Terry heard that, but I guarantee you that was icing on the cake. Gotta be. So now we've screwed y'all. The Saints went and got a tackle. The Seahawks, I don't know who they got. I think they got a defensive tackle. And the Raiders got a tight end. They got Brock Bowers. Shout out to Brock. They got Brock Bowers. No quarterback for you.
They didn't want. Oh, can you pull up the Raiders quarterback room? I know I got that on here. I know I got it on here because it's ghetto. It's terrible. That's another situation where I'm trying to pick off that tree, because just like you y'all know I'm a receiver heavy. So everything to me is receiver brain. So just like I'm Justin Jefferson, don't bring me JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix. If I'm Devontae Adams, I want out now. Aiden, Gardner, one. Anthony Brown, out. Carter, Bradley, boy, I want out now. I want out of here now. Y'all got 4 quarterbacks. You know what we say around here. You got 1 quarterback, you good. You have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0 quarterbacks. If you have 3 quarterbacks, what the hell are you doing? 4? 4 quarterbacks.
I don't know who any of these people other than Gardner Minshew is.
And Gardner Minshew, this is the thing. Gardner Minshew is going to have to spend his whole season trying to beat out Aiden O'Connell, because Aiden O'Connell is the incumbent. This is like us voting in November. It is pick Trump or pick Biden, but either way, we pick wrong. That's what this is. And I'm going to tell you, I feel bad for Antonio Pierce, because what are you going to do with this? This is the reason Raheem picked another quarterback right here.
That was I was waiting on you. You were talking right. You were getting there. That's why I got quiet. You were getting right to the point I was about to make.
Thank you for letting me get to my whole damn conclusion, because I didn't know what I was just like, this is the reason, as a black coach, you have to go pay the quarterback and get another one, because this could be your future. And now you haven't ever had an opportunity to acquire a quarterback, right? So what do you have to do? You got to try to win. The only answer I see here that makes any sense is Gardner Minshew. And Gardner Minshew he's good enough. I told y'all that last year with Shane Steichen and the Colts. I was like, Gardner going to get you close enough. He might not get you all the way to the club, but he'll get you to the curb, and then you just going to have to, have to walk the rest of the way. He
reminds me of Nick Foles.
No. Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's gonna win you enough games where you be like, you know what, maybe he should start, but probably shouldn't. That's exactly who he is to me. Just a lot less.
Pause that right there. I'm watching this post game of the Thunder versus the Pelicans. Josh Giddey gonna forever look like he needs to have a seat over there. He's always gonna look like that now. He looks like he picks up. Well, he looks like all the accusations.
It's the no facial hair. That don't help.
Nope. But back to football. Sorry about that. So with that, let's talk about. Let's jump back to the Falcons real quick, and then I'm gonna ask you about who had the best. We're gonna do draft grades, or who do you think had the best picks so far? So the Falcons. I came around on the Michael Penix Jr. pick. I understood addressing.
Hold on one second. Shout out to you in the mock draft. And I'm excited for the future of us doing this, because Reggie forced us to figure out the draft in advance.
Yeah.
Reggie made us figure out the draft, and this is another reason you should. Hey, if we know what we're talking about, subscribe, click the fucking button. I mean, Reggie made us figure out the draft the day before we did the mock draft, because I kept picking for the Vikings and we kept running mock drafts, and AJ was trying to trade up and get Michael Penix. Now they got lucky enough. Well, I guess they went with Drake May, which long term will be a terrible decision. You'll be right back looking for a quarterback in a year or two. But that let me know. I told y'all, and as soon as after we did it 4 or 5 times, I said, "Oh, Michael Penix is," because everybody said second round, third round, day 2, whatever. I said, "Oh, there's not a world where Michael Penix is not there. He's not drafted in day 1." Now, I didn't know he would go 8, but after us running a couple mock drafts,
he was not making it past 14. ever.
You saw where the quarterback's value were. You're like, okay, that's the end. And that's the reason you have that large gap between Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler. But we ran mock draft after mock draft after mock draft after mock draft. And there are so many teams that needed a quarterback that just didn't get one. There are teams that are pre-fucked next season because they don't have a quarterback. And I hate to tell you, I think that Minnesota, you don't have a quarterback. And now I do think that we get super interesting because there is a world where Kirk Cousins has a really good season next year, right?
And then we trade him for some draft picks. Start Michael Penix. I was going to get there.
Yo, bro, we are rich. I see it. I kept watching. I was like, that's the reason I went to next year's draft immediately. I was like, cool. All right, well, everybody mad. What can you get next year that's better? Nothing. And then you know how many, and we ain't even talked about the Jaguars yet. We still wait on Trevor Lawrence to get paid. It's people who have to get paid. Now I think that Trevor Lawrence is safe because there's no alternative. There's no opt-out. They're like, oh, well, if he don't work, you got to run. The Jaguars, and I'm going to tell y'all this, and y'all watch it and see for yourself. The Jaguars are the new Giants. They had a good season they had a good enough season last year. They have a quarterback they're about to have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to and then be stuck with it. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah.
It's stuck. There's no
they drafted a receiver, if I'm not mistaken, I think.
Oh, no. Now, they did the right thing. They got Brian Thompson from LSU, the guy who the reception. That was my pick. He was a safe pick. He's a good replacement for Calvin Ridley, who you couldn't pay. So they got the answer, but the issue is, what do you do at quarterback? Somebody is going to buy Kirk Cousins next year, and I want a first and a second. We paid him all the money. We paid him $50 million to sign. We paid him $30 million last year. You're going to be able to get a quarterback for 1 year for essentially $20 million, and then you can sign him for 2 or 3 more years. And you have to pay the toll. You have to pay him in cash. You might actually have to go get like $1 bills and pay Kirk Cousins and his family. But somebody is going to need a quarterback and not be able to get one. Because think about it. It ain't nobody but Shedeur, Quinn.
There's always going to be someone that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, but are you willing to, like, depends on how good you are. Everybody can't take the flyer on the guy who came out of nowhere with one good season. Carson Beck ain't sold you. Carson Beck ain't sold you that he's a world beater. Shedeur hasn't sold you that he's a world beater. Quinn Ewers is probably the safest pick. And let's be real. We're not sure if Quinn Ewers is the best quarterback on his own damn team.
Arch Manning threw 4 touchdowns in the spring game. I was like,
and I'm going to tell y'all also need to watch out. Spring games is finna stop.
Yeah. Especially with NIL and all that stuff. But hey, let's get back to it. So let's talk about the Falcons draft.
My apologies. We spiraled. I got real passionate. I'm happy for the Falcons. We made a 3D chess move that nobody saw. And now y'all the only ghetto team I got now is the Hawks. And we got Trey right on. You know that little money machine where you be looking at trying to push that quarter over? As soon as Trey get out of there, we up, baby. And the city of Atlanta, never going back.
So the Falcons drafted the quarterback, which was surprising because there were all the defensive players were left. When I say all, there were no defensive players drafted in the first 7 picks, all offense. So we had our pick of offensive players. I mean, our pick of defensive players, we still with Michael Penix, which I then text y'all. If y'all remember, I said we must be going defense for the rest of the draft. We drafted D tackle, defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker, wide receiver, running back, D tackle. Out of the draft that we had with Rook Okororo from Clemson was our number 2 pick. Braylon Trice was our number 3 pick. Dorless was our number 4 pick. I think Brandon Dorlus, the defensive lineman, because he plays D tackle, nose tackle, and defensive end from Oregon, will end up being our second best pick in this draft if Michael Penix Jr. works out. I am concerned that we didn't get any starters out of this draft for next year, and you had the number 8 pick. I do like Michael Penix, but for next year, we still have to address the corner. We didn't address that in the draft. We don't have a second corner. We did not address the other safety. You think they're going to go with DeMarco Hellams? Fine, but we still need safety depth after that. And we didn't address the wide receiver position, where I do like Mooney. I do like Rondale because of the ability to use them in different ways. Rondale's going to be Tutu Atwell. And I do like Drake London and Kyle Pitts. But you need, and Bijan, but you need another Z receiver unless they're going to use Cardero Hodge out of Prairie View A&M, who they re-signed again, as the Z. That's cool. I'm all for Prairie View. I hope he gets all the opportunity to win the Z. But when you have the number 8 pick and you have this many holes to fill, pause on your roster, it does cause concern for me that we did not address the cornerback position. So that's why I don't necessarily give it an A. I probably give our draft like a B or maybe a C, because they did Terry. Shout out to Terry. He told y'all what he was going to do. We're going to address he said, first thing he said, but when the NFL draft and free agency started, was we are going to address the quarterback position. He said it at free agency and he said it at the combine. And it happened, but y'all weren't listening. He also said we are looking to get defensive help in this draft. We are trying to get defensive line help. He said that. He went and drafted 4 defensive linemen. So I get what he's doing, but I am nervous. I would be lying to y'all if I didn't tell y'all I am nervous about this cornerback position. I am nervous, boy, because we ain't got who's our second cornerback? We started Jeff Okudah last year.
Now you do have a point there, my boy. I don't exactly know how to feel. It's not a simple answer. It's not an easy answer.
Nah, Sneaky, we released him. We benched him.
Okudah?
We benched him.
Okudah is a Dolphin now?
Yes. No, Okudah is not good. He got torched
Texans.
against Washington.
Texans. Yeah, Texans. I mean, he'll be good for the Texans, but I mean, he's a backup there. He third or fourth cornerback. Play in the, he'll be a rotation guy.
They drafted Nate Wiggins, if I'm not mistaken. Westlake.
God, dog, I just knew we was gonna make it through a podcast we have here about Westlake High School, but
as soon as he got drafted, I said, ha ha.
I just named episode 146. Westlake High School has entered the chat. God damn.
Westlake High School has entered the draft.
Some of the mean worst.
But again, I'm like I said, to remind you where we were. We got to address the secondary, and we got to address another receiver. But like I said, drafting Michael Penix, that threw everything in just a tailspin. The draft went into a tailspin. They talked about the Falcons. I ain't never seen them talk about the Falcons for 3 days on the draft, ever.
Yeah,
even when we drafted Vic.
Y'all are so stupid. And I'm like, oh, y'all don't see.
You have not been what I went through. Let me tell you about my testimony.
See the joke.
Let me tell you about my testimony. I've been without.
It's just one of those. Yeah. Been without. I spent my last 2 years looking at fucking Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder.
You don't know the troubles that I've been through. Where's the organ?
2 guys between the 2 of them. Oh, now you want a little message? I got just enough time for one little sermon. But I had the faith of a mustard seed. I looked down at the beginning of my season, walking through what looked like the fiery furnace, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I knew that we had a place to go, and we was looking to get somewhere. We looked like Noah when he started the ark, when nobody believed. And I will tell you, that is the one thing that I will say about Arthur Smith is, given the opportunity, when the expectation is low, he will meet or exceed the expectation. God bless you. Ahead of time. May not come when you want it. It'll be there right on time. But as soon as you hear expectation knocking at you, Joe, Arthur Smith starts acting unusual. He start acting different. He start acting like somebody who you ain't never seen before. That's the reason I tell y'all Steelers fans, good luck and Godspeed. Y'all think that Arthur Smith is the answer? Let me tell you, two people who are not the answer for two teams that don't know yet. The Pittsburgh Steelers, when you need him, he ain't gonna show up. He gonna make a bad decision as if that was the only decision. Then next, the Washington Commanders and Dan Quinn. The only thing that Dan Quinn did right was put Kyle Shanahan on his staff. And when Kyle Shanahan left, so did his chances of winning. So sometimes you have to put your team together, put your hope together with people who accomplish things. And that's how you win. But without them, not a chance.
Now,
in hell or Hades.
Now, to wrap up the Falcons discussion, I will say that I do think Terry's not done because there's some restructuring. Now that it's like the Drake did. It's like the future Drake beef, the future Drake Kendrick Lamar beef. Now that 2 disses have come out, you start to go back and look at all the other songs like, dang, was he talking to Future then? Is Terry the same way? Hey, Terry was like, look,
let's cook up.
I'm chefing. And one thing that he's been chefing is he has said we are looking in free agency and we'll look in the draft. Well, now we're back at trading in free agency. 2 players have requested a trade. Trey Hendrickson out of that cheap ass franchise in Cincinnati, and T. Higgins. We can't get both, but you can get one.
All I want is one. I don't care which one you give me. You can give me T. Sweet. That solidifies us with our one adult. And then I could get Michael Penix Jr. and then get T. Higgins. I mean, honestly, me and you talked about it. At this point, I'm interested in call Odell. Everything that's available, I want to have a conversation with. Odell, this is low pressure. All you got to do is clean up. You can play slot only. You got 2 big receivers on the outside. You need to beat linebackers. That's your job.
No, I disagree with that one because you can't. We got the slot is taken care of. You got Mooney who could play the Z or the slot. You have Rondale Moore who could play the slot, and you also have Bijan because you can put Algier in the backfield and put Bijan in the slot. So one thing that Arthur Smith may have done well is in them summer practice videos, he showed Bijan lining up at wide receiver. That was the only thing.
That's what I'm telling. Like, I'm going to tell you where my brain says, all right, pitch, outside. Drake, outside. Bijan Algier, y'all split backs. Odell, slot. Now I'm going to motion Bijan out, wide side of the field, and I'm going to put Bijan right there. I'm going to park him on a linebacker. Now, OBJ, I want you to stand right here. You got one route to run. But one thing that I've seen you do continuously over your entire career is kill humans on slants. Mm-hmm. That's all I want. Hey, Drake pitch, y'all run them flies. hey, Bijan, run up the seam, see if you can beat a linebacker. Odell, you sneak right behind there and beat whoever you can on a slant. And after we've given you the ball, show me what you can do. That's simple.
I think it works. I think the Falcons are a scary team. I think they're draft
and OBJ. Let's be real. You've been to Atlanta. You've been to LA. You've been in New York. Come on, man. You know you won't come to Atlanta, man. You know you.
There's a lot of
be
jokes
right
there
there
that
with
I
you,
am not privileged to say. But let's move on.
And his best friend is Ben Don. You can't have the social media guy.
There's another joke there in that wordplay. But let's get to the best and worst drafts. Yeah, you tipsy over there. So
nah, I'm passionate right now. I see hope.
Out of the drafts that happened, I think one of the better drafts that happened this year, unfortunately for Justin Fields, was Chicago. Chicago got Caleb Williams. They got DJ Moore. I'm sorry. They got Rome Odunze. And then they added in free agency Keenan Allen, kept DJ Moore, and added DeAndre Swift, along with that defense that they added last year.
Ball game.
Defensive ends.
Montez
This team is set up.
Stolen from Washington.
They are set up to at least be competitive in the NFC North next year. And after that, they probably are set up to challenge for the NFC North in 2 years.
Who's better in the NFC North than them?
Green Bay
Today.
and Detroit.
They're not better.
Why are they not better?
Green Bay surely not. Rome Odunze is the best wide receiver on Green Bay tomorrow if he was to go there. And he's the second best wide receiver on this staff. So, no.
Well,
I don't think that there's a...
He's probably third. Keenan Allen and DJ Moore are proven.
Oh, you're right. Rome Odunze is number 1 in Green Bay. He's 3 in Chicago. Now, Chicago, shout out to I'm in another group chat, School of Ill, for the Chicago homies. This is it for y'all. If y'all ever think that y'all are going to have an offense, if y'all ever think that y'all going to move into this century
and throw the damn ball,
if y'all can't get it done this time, the only thing I can say is good luck and Godspeed. Y'all got the quarterback that you wanted, you got the running back that you needed, and then you have 3 legitimate dog receivers. I don't.
And Cole Kmet at tight end.
Yes, you have guys who are going to win best ball. If you say, hey, high point the ball, you're safe. There are not many teams, if any teams, ask the Patriots, ask Carolina. They don't got these guys. They don't have one of these guys, and you have 3 of them.
Sneaky said, if this fails, run the wing T. So, I do think
if this fails, give up your team. Move out of Chicago. Start over. It's over. And Caleb Williams, the best thing, the reason that I'm excited about this is you get to break all the quarterback records in Chicago
in 2 years.
And which one of you guys want to be the receiver legend in Chicago? Just hustle. That's it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Justin Fields, they revamped this whole team. They drafted you to build around you. Then they built up the team after trading you. That sucks. So I do think that Chicago had a really good draft. I don't have the media for this. We already talked about the Raiders. But Buffalo, what in the hell were you doing? Not because of who you paid, not because of who you got. Y'all traded. It's this age-old adage of you don't arm your enemies. Y'all traded down because you needed draft picks because of Stephon Diggs and all that. You need draft picks. You do. You need draft picks. You got to rebuild around Josh Allen. But all money ain't good money. Why would you let the Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions, Jordan and Cleats, best quarterback to have the best quarterback?
They did it twice. They did it twice.
Not only did they, I don't care about they trading down to anybody else. I don't give a damn who you traded down to. Why would you trade down and let the Chiefs get Tyreek Hill, Part 2, and Xavier Worthy. The Chiefs all of the sudden are fast as what's it? Excuse my language. I'm fast as fuck, boy. I'm fast as fuck, boy. They are fast. They got Xavier Worthy.
No.
They got Hollywood Brown, and I'm not going to use the meme. Whatever happens with Rashee Rice, happens with Rashee Rice. And they just signed Travis Kelce to 2-year extension so he could finish out his career. This team,
I think it's a one. I think it's one in a possible. He like, I'm gonna see what y'all got this year.
Whatever. He ain't got.
I don't hate it. Bro.
They won the Super Bowl last year with Rashee Rice and him. They now have
Back to
two
back.
people that run 4.25 or faster. 4.25 or faster. All you have to do is catch the ball. We already saw what he could do. We saw what happens when you don't catch the ball. He's still gonna throw it to you, and Patrick Mahomes is gonna put the ball in a position to where you can't drop the ball. I.e., Marquez, Valdez, 2 Chainz, Scantling. Y'all messed around and let them get a lot of speed, and they got a good defense. If y'all want Brady to stay up there with 7, y'all better do something. Y'all better collude. Because the AFC West ain't shit.
This is the thing where they double down on dumb is, you're right. You let the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy, who just takes the top off the offense, even though you have Hollywood Brown, who also takes the top off of the offense. So, yes, this thing is topless. The titties are out. Then on top of that, you go ahead and now you let the Panthers draft Xavier. I mean, that you let them get Leggett. And it's like, you probably needed both of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't get one of them. Bryce Young is somewhere like, hey, man, thank you for doing me a solid. I've been down here in purgatory and struggle. And at least you gave me a guy who's humble and hungry and at home. That is what we call the Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Triple H. He is going to destroy people. And then that probably, it makes at least Adam Thielen livable.
Yeah,
and
the Bills actually traded out of the first round.
Their 2 picks that they traded out were Worthy and Leggett. For life decisions. But I think that they are probably a team that's trending downward. I think that they probably, I hate to be completely honest and transparent, but probably just move off from Josh Allen. Let's just trade him and start over. Blow it up. Once Diggs went out, it kind of took the wind out of the sails. The only team where it looks like players are trying to get out of faster is Cincy. And I don't understand that, but there's something going on in Cincinnati that nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah, so there were I didn't understand Buffalo's I didn't understand what Buffalo was doing. I also didn't understand. I did like that Minnesota got JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner. I did like that.
JJ McCarthy, let's be real, he's not good. JJ McCarthy is not going to be prepared to be a quarterback 1 and throw to one of the best wide receivers in the NFL this year. Sorry.
But you also remember they lost Danielle Hunter to the Texans, so they got Dallas Turner. I do like
and, no. And John Grenard from the Texans. Remember, that defense, the defense,
do a swap.
Yeah, their defense is solid. The issue is Justin Jefferson is not going to be happy with the quarterback play that he's going to receive. And he's going to ask out, which he should. Don't give me a guy who's not good in college when I'm the best in the pros. No. My career management says no.
Yeah. So Dallas replenished their offensive line. That was pretty good. Arizona, quietly as kept, had a pretty good draft.
Tyler, this is it for you.
Yeah, they got a running back. They got a cornerback. They got a defensive end. They got an offensive tackle. They got a safety. They got another edge. They got a fast receiver. They got another cornerback. Low-key, Arizona may have the sleeper draft. And then, of course, I don't know how y'all keep letting Baltimore get all these defensive players, dog?
Every year, and they on slate to get another one next year. They're getting another. I just saw they get
go ahead,
from Clemson cornerback, and then I see them coming back. Yes, I see them come back next year and get another safety, and I'm like, do they even need another safety? What?
And not even that. TJ Tampa was regarded as a top 3 cornerback in the draft, and for whatever reason, I don't know, once they do the draft evaluation and medical evaluations and they start lying, stuff happens. So once
that line be
happened,
so crazy, bro.
Once that happened, TJ Tampa fell to the 4th round. We needed a corner. I put in the chat, hey, Falcons, we have the pick. Let's just go ahead and get TJ Tampa. What happened? The Ravens traded up and picked TJ Tampa. I was like, man, fuck out of here.
And you have to know that as soon as the Raiders draft a guy on defense, that is a check box that he will be a Hall of Famer. That's the reason I know that Kyle Hamilton will be the best safety to probably ever play football. Because every time you see them get a guy, their guy turns into the best ever. And you're like, I would like to have one.
Just dunk on LeBron and then did his flex.
No,
and
I saw
and he hit another free throw. No, before that, he dunked on LeBron.
I saw him hit with the scoop loop. But I mean, that is the tough part about watching this. I know they're about to show it again because we just went to timeout. But it's so tough to watch. Up there it.
Shrug the shoulders on him.
Bruh. Go home, Roger. It's over. You might need to stay at home. Don't even go back to your job no more.
Let me pull out my handkerchief real quick, put on my top hat, my little spectacle, and have my gentleman sweep.
You not finna second line. I was about to say you not finna second line him.
They about to gentleman sweep. They right out there. They about to ask Jeeves and that right on back to LA.
Hey. Boy, finna hit that second line. Well, it's a funeral. We watching right.
But overall, I think the draft was really good.
But the Bears, let me tell you, Bears, y'all better win.
Yeah, y'all got to win now. Y'all got to win. Also, quiet pick, Cleveland. Shout out to Tremaine. They needed help at the defensive tackle spot. They got the number 1 defensive tackle in the draft. Number 2.
Congratulations on getting the number 2 defensive tackle. None of that matters until you can get top 5 quarterback play out of your quarterback. It's inconsequential. Deshaun Watson needs to be a top 5 quarterback. I don't see an answer where Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback. I don't see Deshaun Watson being better. He's now be better than Mahomes. Let's go ahead and get that out your mind. He's not going to be better than Burrows. He's not going to be better than Lamar Jackson. Now it's like, can you be better than Aaron Rodgers? Can you be better than Brock Purdy? I'm not sure if he can. And if he can't, then everything else is for naught. The only thing that might be your saving grace is Nick Chubb you can just hand the ball off. But you spend so much money at quarterback that I can't afford to just hand the ball to Nick Chubb.
Yeah, he's going to have to restructure or something so they can get some more something. They got to figure it out. But they got to do something. They're going to have to get some more something.
Yo, let me tell you, Cleveland, y'all have overspent. You overspent with Donovan Mitchell. You overspent with Deshaun Watson. Figure your money out. Call me back.
Yeah. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of episode 149 of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw. We had the pregame. We talked about HBCU news around the culture. The playoffs in basketball are looking crazy right now. OKC to the second round. Looks like Denver is trying to close out the Lakers. Tonight. We're getting to it. So with that being, then we have football. We talked about the draft. If we didn't miss anything, Norwood, take us out. We never do.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's been a fantastic pod. As far as the Falcons, we've been reborn. We have a new energy. We have a new enthusiasm. We have a new hope. We have a new coach. We have a new offensive coordinator. We got 2 new quarterbacks. Not one. We got to buy one, get one. So me and Reggie are enthused and enthralled. We got the best team in baseball. Let's be real. Shout out to the Atlanta Braves. Chop house, baby. Without them, none of this will be possible. Reggie has a decent college football team. My college football team sucks. Let's keep it real. And then we have a basketball team that's just in disarray. We have no answers. King Joffrey is our leader, and I don't have a solution there. But thank you guys for rocking with us today. Number one, more Black baseball. Shout out to Mike Harris getting it done. Number 2, more Black cowboys and cowgirls. Y'all streaming that Beyonce album. I feel like y'all de facto by way of supporting that. And then number 3, the historically Black college and university your cousin went to, that person used to sit in the church and kiki in the back of church. Your neighbor who used to go over there used to cut their grass, they pay you like $20. Whoever it is, send that money to that.
Age yourself. Ain't no yard being cut for no $20 no more. That's like a $10 haircut. Where you find that at?
I just told him, funny story. I just talked to my dad, and my original barber, Johnny, still cutting hair on Eastbound for $10 a cut. Now, Johnny, you should be getting cut by $50. You done cut the whole hood for, if I'm 38, you've been cutting the hood for 40, 50 years at this point. You're a Black icon. But with that said, once again, Historically Black College University is your homeboy. Anybody went to, send some money over there. Historically Black College University in your neighborhood. So for Reggie, that's Morehouse, that's Spelman, that's the whole AUC. Send some money over there. Me, that Texas Southern, that's a little bit of PV because I like the groove grooves. And then finally, the greatest learning.
Fun out there now.
Hey, it's both fantastic and magical. It is the time of all times. But of course, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University. Founded in 1868. We only asked for $18.68 on behalf of the university. They gave me a degree and Reggie a degree. Whatever it is, support the Blacks, as Reggie always tells y'all. That is the key, man. We have to support our own infrastructure. If you got it, then buy it. Outside of that, God is love. Adios, mi amigos. We will see y'all again soon. We will see y'all again on Saturday. New teams to pick. We will have... Everybody will have a new position by then. A lot of folks will be at home. My team been home.
Yeah, we ain't even
God is
house.
love.
We on punishment. Y'all stay to y'all